down slats after racing, so going down the
Here we
road.
go. We're live. I'm joined by Craig Day and Connor McCormack, as you can see. Tricky, Craig's known as, and Connor is the bomber. What do you think of tonight's cars, lads?
I've only found 3 bets that I could have, to be honest. I thought both of the oh shit. Sorry, I'm just busy fucking up my PC. Jesus. Bollocks up. Yeah, I've only bet Bobsleigh Dream, Well Met, and the Holland Dog in the first, the Gaytime Dog. Like, I couldn't find many bets. Yeah. I just wanted to be against Kildare, to be honest.
Connor?
Yeah, look, it's Derby semi-final card. It's never usually a massive betting card. Like, I would never see the Derby semis as a big betting prospect, especially in a 5-dog heat with one of them. I thought Droopy's Edison was probably the best bet in the card. I thought he was getting a massive drop in grade. No, I haven't seen his prices, but he's sitting in trap one, and just for what he is around with, like in the Juvenile Classic and the Kirby's and them type of competitions, like he's only coming back as well. So the Derby probably came too quick for him, but yeah, I just thought he was different grade, to be honest with you. But he's probably very short, like. But yeah, other than that, it's not the best betting card, but as a spectacle, it's probably top class. You know, the first semi-finals especially is just crazy good, like.
Yeah,
Absolute mental. Like, it's a Night Stars 550, as good as it gets. Like, you know, nightmares for connections with like the Born Warrior and Culavani Hoff and Callaway Pro Am all beside each other. So for them, it's a bit sweating, but yeah, it's just top grade.
Yeah, it is very, very good. And did you have an opinion on the first? I'll get the betting up. So obviously, track one's a non-runner.
Yeah, I actually thought two is probably a good thing, especially with the one out. The only concern for two before this was that one can ping the box. She's a couple of fast splits, a bit of volley brays, but now she's out, so two should just lead around. Likes the Jim cracking that if they don't come from behind, if they're led, they're usually bet. So yeah, look, I think McGee's pitching two is the one to beat. Like,
I must admit, two looks guaranteed to lead, but normally a lead pinger and maybe a little bit vulnerable late or not.
I don't know. I just think two can probably do 28-40 and is capable of a fast turbine sectional. Like, if it does that, it's not going to get picked up. Like, I said the only concern for two before one came out is that one's a ping start and they might have to do a lot of run to try and get by one. But no, I think to be honest with you, I think it's fired in. Like, she ran unbelievable in Dundalk a few nights, and she's a couple of very, very, very top sprints on her card. So she should be good to lead. Like I said, like the Jim Crack, he is a fast dog, and he's only kind of coming back as well. But my one issue with him is he never comes from behind. He's little comrade to Kildare. So it's all or nothing with him. It's either you lead or if you're not in front second band, he can't win a race, in my opinion. So I just think two's jolly.
Yeah. So Craig, you just fancy that? Do you fancy three all track round behind to him?
Yeah, I thought the three had just picked the two off, to be honest. I didn't think the two was the strongest of stayers. And the sprint, I mean, obviously, I've not seen much of the three, but the trial in behind the Newing Dog doing like a 1650 odd in Clonmel, like, and just every vibe you get from it. And when you look at its card now, they've tried to start it off. You look like it'd probably be a sort of an open race class dog, but you know, and I think it's just a bit of a. It should be winning these type of races if it's probably what they think it is.
Yeah,
you know, it's been like Gaytime Geordie and that who's done a 28-20 round Shelburne as well. So yeah, I just thought this would back run the two. I thought the two had cut loose, and I just thought something to get after it, and I thought that might be free.
Yeah. 2.6 Hawkfield Mere and 3.3 Gaytime Nemo, and it's sort of 5.3 Jim Crack. Yeah, I thought I had a touch of the one paces, really, Jim Crack. Good breaker, but I didn't think we're clear two. Like you say, Connor probably will struggle then. Hello.
They've hung up on me. So can't be important.
Is it on RPG TV tonight? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know because it's on. I know it's on TV3 or Virgin or whatever. With the
no, it's on Racing Post TV. Yeah,
the lads are doing the Ian and Barry call. I think are on that tonight. So
It's the same what it was.
and when you're going out, Craig, to Dublin next week?
Friday afternoon.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, fly at 12, I think it is. So probably the plane will set off about, I don't know, 3 hours after it's supposed to. No doubt. And then, yeah, hopefully get there in time for the food at Michael's and then obviously the preview thing at Shelburne.
Yeah.
Which should be a bit of fun. So,
yeah. I got 2 tickets for that. That will be good. Yeah, Tom's just messaged in. Evening, lads. Sad I can't be with you this evening. Best of luck with the punting. Good nights racing ahead. Surely bobsleigh dreams night to get up. Good old Tom.
Has he filled out his absence form, like, and has he submitted it?
He's still in America. He's still in Pittsburgh. Well, no, actually, I think he's travelling from Pittsburgh somewhere else. To be fair, visiting his wife's folks in the US.
No commitment.
No. And I think you mentioned about that the Droopers Edison Roberts dog was evens on the earlies. Connor.
yeah, it's not amazing prices, but look, honestly, he's just for what he's round with, and it's great type of dog. Like in the Unrace Stake in Tralee Juvenile Classic, if you're watching the semi and the final, if you had to say you want to pick out one dog, he looked the dog in the stake. Towards the end, and then I know he had a few injury problems, so he hadn't ran for a long time after Kirby, and I know there's a couple of lads on him before the Derby that were saying that the connections fancied him, but he just been off for so long.
He just looks a bit rusty at the moment, doesn't he? That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd imagine the Ledger now, Limerick will be his big target now in a few weeks' time.
I'm not even certain he looks rusty though. I just don't think he looks himself at all.
Yeah.
I know he's not having a right lot of luck getting the corner and stuff, but like there was a few of us we've tried to ring up and buy him, and we've been told he's not for sale. But I don't know. I just think I think there's got to be something amiss for him. Like a fast dog like that just doesn't go. You know, that trial was all right, and then the first run back was okay. It in behind Singalong, Sally, and Ed, and then I don't know. I just think he's going backwards a little bit. Like he might be feeling a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Well,
if he doesn't win tonight, then you'll be asking questions, I think.
Yeah. Look, the fact is he was off for a long time for a reason. That's as simple as that. Like Robert Gleason is not going to keep a dog off just for the sake of it. Like I heard someone say, "Oh, they were just leaving him off." That's just bullshit. Like it's obviously he had some issue out with Limerick. But like if he puts it all together of what he was when he was a pup and what you expect him to be, he's a top Derby dog, just that great. Like so. Look, the biggest competition for him, his big target, if you had him, would be the Ledger and Limerick. Like, there's no other stake, 550.
He's running the first.
Up, so.
5-dog race, track 1 vacant, favourite in 2, Hawkfield Mia. And away and racing. Hawkfield Mia came out, just collided with Gaytime Nemo in the early exchanges. And up on the inside, goes round now. Hawkfield Mia squeezes past. Cameraman's had a bit of a nightmare, and 2's now gone on from 5. Droopy's Battery is laying down a challenge and goes on into the third turn. 3 looking to strike in behind them. Gaytime Nemo swoops round the outside now, and Gaytime Nemo has a length lead coming off the last turn in front of Droopy's Battery, and up towards the line, galloping on strongly. Gaytime Nemo goes on to score readily in the end, tight for second between Jim Crack, who laid it down to Droopy's Battery. Hawkfield Mia just couldn't cut loose.
The freeze calendar at the start on it.
Yeah. She didn't break clean herself, did she? And yeah, they've come together.
The free just looks so green, by the way.
Yeah,
well,
all over the track, and he's a July 20, like, but
it's only his 4th race though, Craig, isn't it? That's the thing. So
yeah, he's got some pace, like the dog.
yes, mate. Yeah,
that was probably good.
Open dog.
That was probably a good break for him. Like his splits are usually diabolical. Like so the fact even that he could come out and collide with her in the boxes, like as Craig said, he's green as grass. He's running all over the shop. Like
And he's still
definitely
like 4 lengths, 3.5 lengths, something like
that. There's definitely a big engine there. Like
he's running well. He's running well.
Probably like one of them dogs who doesn't mature until like the back end of till he's 2. Like he just seems like a really big, sort of leggy dog who doesn't know what he's doing yet. It'll take him a while.
Your mate Davey Branch been on. Look, Craig. His bomber in prison looks like he's in a cell.
I used my hour lunchtime to be on Watchalong, so.
Oh dear.
I know I'm not in prison, but I probably should be locked up anyway.
Oh shit.
And you'll be there next Saturday, Connor?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, I was there on Thursday night, and there was literally nobody there, so I was like, to be fair, I hadn't from the Easter Cup to the Derby. I actually wasn't in Shelburne. It just hadn't gone. Like, just suddenly kind of get really back into it now. But yeah, look, it's just there every year. Like, I'm hoping I can get to the. I have tickets. I think we all have tickets. To be honest, which I think Ian did us all a favor of that Talking Dogs Roadshow. Yeah, I think everyone from Greyhound Twitter that goes over to the Derby has tickets. Like, but now with work, we have a big tax deadline on next Friday, so that's why I'm working on Saturday as well. So I'm hoping I can get out for that 6 o'clock. Like, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
And are you in Dublin then?
Yeah, I'm in Dublin now. I'm literally 10-minute walk from Shelburne at the moment to where the office is. So, yeah, I was just doing a bit of work today. So it's just handy. Then I might meet the lads in the pub after racing. So see what the crack is. But yeah, look, should be good crack next week anyway. It's always great with the puppy derby on a Friday, and then it's the derby next night. Because I even seen there was a lot of dogs for the puppy derby trial yesterday. We were getting a pup marked up, and just stayed to watch a few trials. And there was a couple of the trendy junior dog, the 28-20, and then Pat Buckley had 3 or 4 dogs all going to 28-30. Like, so. Yeah, look, it's just that them type of dogs are now coming out to see us.
Friday night.
Was it?
I always prefer the Friday night over the Saturday.
Yeah, because you're always dying from a hangover on a Saturday, so.
Yeah, there's that about it as well.
Poor Craig goes too early, and then he's fucked for the rest of the time. So.
I just don't stay. I'm a sprinting type.
No, I don't stay either, Craig. So. No good.
Poor. 13 seconds Romford is Craig. The poor devil. He was there in the first round, and sure, 5 points, he was gone. Like, the game over.
It was over. Absolutely no chance. I was out till whatever time it was. Were you guys on the? What was it?
Yeah, we went to Camden Street, and then you were like, "Oh no, I'm getting a taxi, lads. I'm going home."
Yeah, because I was tired.
And then
you was out till 3-4ish. Yeah. Got to pace yourself. That's all it is. Wind up your run. There's no point going out too hard. To be fair, Dublin closes at 3 anyway. What good's that to anyone?
If you got the right place, it doesn't close at 3.
Oh?
If you got the right place, it doesn't close at 3.
Where's open after 3?
Plenty of places.
Okay, we was on O'Connell Street, and every pub just chucking out.
Oh yeah, O'Connell Street. Yeah, you don't go near there. No. That closes early.
Yeah, it does. Wasn't happy like.
Yeah, but sure, look, we'll stay. There'll be plenty of time to be drinking anyway, Craig. Don't worry.
That's what we like to hear. Are you going for food on the Friday?
No, she'll be working.
Oh, okay.
Because the deadline is literally it's corporation tax deadline of the 23rd, and fucking things on 23rd. It's the only time it's ever fallen the same date, so yeah, it's just a bit of a pain, like, so.
Could be worse. Main job though, get there Saturday, innit?
Yeah, look, there on a Saturday anyway. So.
And Connor, have you still got any anti-post interest in the derby?
No, all gone.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I've Hoff actually. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got Hoffer.
I've Hoff, yeah. Hoff at 25s, but for nothing huge, like just playing around. But yeah, he's the last one. So, but if I had him tonight, geez, like it's just a complete wrong makeup of a race for him. Not saying he can't win or qualify or anything, but like it's just if you have to pick a type of race, he wants to be in with dogs he can lead every day of the week.
Yeah.
And he's in with Born Warrior, and if he repeats the same split as last week, he's going to go up alongside them. And early pace. Any hindrance early on, they become like Crafty Kokoro has to have the best draw of the night. Like she wants to be in with all the early pacers. I can't see her not finishing the top three, to be honest with you.
You don't think Explosive Boy might do her a bit of mischief?
She completely ran all over Explosive Boy last week, though.
Yeah, but Explosive Boy like moved off down the back, and if she'd have got there at the wrong point when the Explosive Boy dog like sort of cuts the bend, every week she just seems to have like a Red Sea parting at the third bend.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Explosive Boy last week he moved back onto the rail, but he'd not held her in time. And I think if he holds her far enough, if he cuts back onto the rail, she might have nowhere to go.
But he moved off dramatic last week, didn't he?
He did, massively. Which I couldn't understand.
No,
because when he faced Born Warrior, he was glued to the rail the entire way around.
He was.
And I just think there's a way to get her knocked out tonight because of that reason.
Yeah.
But
do you not think as well though, like with Hoffa, Born Warrior, and Callaway Pro-Am, if they lead each other, they are sitting ducks for her. Like she doesn't tend to. She just comes from the next part. She doesn't go to the corner. Like
before the race was running this derby, if I'd have shown you this draw, you'd have wanted to be on the blue for your life. The three moving off and a slugging red. Like you want to be on it, and 4, 5, and 6 all got early pace and cutting each other's throats.
Yeah. Hold on, look, Explosive Boy. He's going for 2 Derby finals in a row. Having said that, though, I've never thought Shelbourne Park was his track. Like he's never put his best performances in Shelbourne. It's always been likes of Tralee, Waterford, Limerick. Like they're saying that he's got the 2 Derby finals, but he's never actually ran a race with the 5. To be fair, no, over 5.75 he has, but over 5.50 he's never really. I would say like absolutely like a run we go, oh mother of Jesus, like which he has done before. Do you know what I mean? Like his run in Dundalk was deadly. Like his run in Tralee, unreal. When he was a pup in Limerick, he showed his class as well. Like, but hold on, look, he's going for 2 Derby finals in a row. It's not an easy feat to do. I think Ballymac Matt and Sonic were the last 2 dogs to do it. So it's he's a fair dog. Like he's a class. I just thought he ran a bit flat last week, and same as kind of Vincenzo, and I wasn't surprised to see Vincenzo out. Hold on, Explosive Boy's another type of dog as well. Don't forget that. Maybe the runs can take his toll on him. But yeah, look,
I think even like Ballymac Finn last week was flat. Like he wasn't as impressive as he had been, and I think a few of them will get to that point where this week only surprised they freshen them up a bit.
He's a hard dog to work out as well, to be fair. In the fact where, like, when you're watching him the first night against Good Cody, you think, geez, this dog's a strong runner. He's taking lengths at Good Cody. And then you said he's hanging on in races. So, and last week was his best split that he'd done.
Young dog, though, isn't he? A lot of running, like.
But that's the thing. So, him and Marie's wedding are comrades in their November 20s.
Oh.
So, like, you have to give credit to that as well. Like, and to be fair to her, she did 27. I think she's the only dog to break 28 seconds in a race this year. And she was like 17 months old.
Yeah.
So that tells you how good she is. Like, and I was even saying, I told PL and Tom before, she was only in McGee's place for probably 2 or 3 weeks before the competition. So she was only kind of settling in, and that's why she probably got better with each run.
I'm going to say she's really coming forward. If anything, she'd be the one that's probably gone a bit under the radar.
Yeah.
Where people are just sort of not really talking about her. But like last week, she's come from behind Born Warrior. I think the second round, she nigh on come from behind it, and she's improving. She's probably come forward from that probably a length and a half, 2 lengths.
Yeah, definitely.
And there could be more there as well.
Hold on, she's an absolute machine. She's only won by 28 seconds. It's just a stamp of class, like just an absolute machine. Like yeah, look, just the two of them last week. You says, imagine having 2 litre comrades November 20s, and they both won the quarterfinals of the Derby. Like, it's just nuts. Like, I actually know the breeder actually is not too far from me. The mother was 28-20 in Shelburne. She was a full sister to Pastana. She was an absolute machine, Ballymac Petsy. So it's not a surprise this year when she went to Sydney that she could breed dogs like that. Like, I know she's a good newsletter, I think, as well, that are coming up, starting near school and age as well. So you'll be looking forward to them as well.
I've had a few quid on Crossfield Linda here. I really fancy her. I was really impressed with some of her runs behind Gary Joe and Here Comes Sid. Thought it was really good form.
I found this race
on the inside.
Yeah, I thought this was a tricky race. Tree is getting a drop in grade for probably what she has ran with. She won the Puppy Oaks this year. She bet Murray's Wedding in the final. Like, but yeah, no, I do. The top is seriously quick, but I think she's only had 2 races, hasn't she?
Yeah.
But the one box in the 525 is a huge advantage. It's the bingo box, so it might just, if she comes away from it, she says she could hold her pitch.
Yeah.
The Crusader dog's just not running, is it?
No,
it's missing his break. Yeah.
He disappointed me the first night he ran Shelburne. He'd been off for a while, but he ran in a 525, and they kind of made a race from, to be honest with you. Like, he was in an A1 or 2 or something, and he was in the track. He literally had the dog in 5 diving for defence, and he just about got the job done as well. At the time wasn't flashy, but yeah, he's probably not lived up to what they've expected.
Well, I was going to say, we got to the final of a good stake in Kilkenny, didn't it?
Yeah, it was the future race champions Kilkenny. Yeah, so he was in the final with Callaway Pro-Am and all them. So
yeah, it just like seemed to come back, and then obviously it's beat Mayola Shamrock, half a length, and I know Dylan them only, but with all due respect, you'd fancy it being a bit better than that, wouldn't you?
No, of course. Like, you're trying to talk about the top end. Like, the lads have some double last night. To be fair to them,
I know. Yeah, money goes to money. That's what it is.
But I just knew with the Moyala dog, as soon as he gets that drop in grade to A2,
he wins his races.
He wins his race. Like, he's one of them. He's A1 pace, A1 pace, but he can't do it in the grade. But as soon as he goes back drop to A2, he just absolutely smashed them up. Like,
he run well last night, didn't he? I was impressed with the Kid Ireland dog, mate, at Oxford.
Yeah, Jesus. At the fifth bend, he was a mile in front. Like,
he's done the clock last night.
Nearly all loaded it. I tried to save a bit on 3, but that was not a great success. Here we go then. Second race of the night. Favourites are 1 and 3 here. Crossfield Linda and Ballymac Snazzy. Her approaches. And away and racing and red. Crossfield Linda gets a good start ahead of Ballymac Snazzy. Up on the outside is 6 Deadly Crusaders going to try and turn in a pitch. And down the far side is Crossfield Linda with a length lead over the 3. Ballymac Snazzy. In behind these comes Crafty Jaco looking for room into the third turn ahead of Deadly Crusader. Just hit a flat spot down the far side. From the front end, it's still Crossfield Linda with a length or so's lead from 3. Ballymac Snazzy, who's swung wide and up towards the line. 1 will win it from Crafty Jaco and Ballymac Snazzy.
Pay the money's money.
It was actually a great book on that between 1 and 3 most
It was, yeah. And she saw it out well, didn't she, Crossfield Linda?
The top ran great there now, to be fair to her.
15.92.
The track must be a bit quick, though. 28.21.
She's 28.30 in a trial, so it's not kind of surprising, to be honest with you. She's sitting in 1. 3, you'd expect to be doing 28, probably 20 and 30s anyway. The 5s ran a monster race there as well, to be fair. But she'd ran great in the Puppy Oaks. And the Oaks, I think, that Crafty Jaco, so it was a good type of race.
Yeah, did well. I was a bit afeared when 3 turned on her shoulder. I must admit, so close. I thought she'd ping and go 2 or 3 clear, but
she won it.
Well,
she's run such a tight line on the last bend.
Yeah.
Tree was challenging the whole way, so she was impressive to hold her off the whole way, and used to saw it out a lot better as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a fair go with her.
She's a January 20, that bitch, so.
Yeah.
She obviously she's either a 6-month bitch or she had injury problems.
Yeah, and is that Pat? Am I right to say it's Pat Kiley? Is that Kiley?
Yeah.
And I think he's got a runner later on that's Droopy's Iconic.
Yeah, he trains 2 in a row as well.
Again, just the 2 starts for 2 wins, Droopy's Iconic, and had a bit of a spell off the card as well since July. So, yeah. Be interesting. I think it's Donna Coney's Nap or next best. The dog later on. Strangely enough.
Plate up next, isn't it? Have you anything left in the plate, PL?
Say again?
Have you anything left in the plate?
Yeah, Bobsleigh Dream, yeah. And Gary Vojo. Gary Vojo was my first pick at 33s. First bet I had, and then I backed Bobsleigh Dream once she qualified after that horrendous draw in the first round. So I backed her him at 33s and her at 12s. And I think the other Kobe sort of gets me money back, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, the Kobe dog looked like being a superstar, didn't he? And then he sort of just dropped off a level. He's so trap dependent as well. Like he's desperate for the red, isn't he?
Yeah, to be fair to him, he was at this. He just in the Champion Stakes. He win the first night, then he started this not trapping for a few runs, like diabolical. Like in the final, he fell out, and then he trialed twice and didn't come out in the first of the Derby. Same crack again. Him and Romeo Magico were like last at the boxes, but it was if he had a small issue. That's usually why they don't break, and they've sorted it now. Like he see him last week, like so. Yeah, he's pretty 18-13 for sprint and Shelburne. No matter what way the track is, it's fucking crazy. Like so,
it's not half bad, is it?
But like that litter, like there's 3 dogs in the litter, and it's the other Colby, Born Warrior. I think the other dog's an A2 dog around Romford or something. So Scooby the Hulk. So they're not now bad litter for 3 pups.
No, you'd be happy with. Well, you'd be a bit pissed off if you got the worst of them. If you had the pick.
Stop now. Someone had to. No, they had them all themselves. They kept them all themselves. But there's some they've ridiculous already pace. Born Warrior and the other Colby, like fucking crazy.
Yeah, I like the Warrior dog obviously a lot. It'd be a perfect for the UK though.
I think people are harsh on him, like as if people are kind of running down last year. He has an unbelievable card. Like he's never finished outside the top 3 in the race.
That's the thing I don't get. Like people are saying he cannot win the Derby, and I'm like, well, he can.
Yeah, I saw a tweet or something like that last week. I says he's in the fucking Derby semi-final. Like, what do you want?
And he's going to lead more. If you give him the right draw, he'd lead every night, wouldn't he?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and he said he's unlucky as well to be in. Like, I've seen Derbies over the years, but there was literally barely any early pace left in it. Like the year Lodkill Blake won the Derby, even though he was the best Greyhound and one of the best early pace dogs we'd seen, it was a Derby that the early pace just completely fell out of it.
Well, even look at Newin Taylor and Pestana's Derby. There was like literally no pace in that final.
No, not early pace, just the 2 of them, yeah. And sure, obviously when Pestana went wrong to the bench, Newin Taylor and was an absolute cert to lead. Like, but yeah, like that's the way it usually ends up, and because the strong staying dogs usually keep qualifying, and they kind of the ones that end up later in the competition. See, the early paces, you says when they meet each other, whichever one leads the other one becomes a sitting duck then. So, but yeah, hold on, Born Warrior. There's dogs in this Derby with some unbelievable cards, like just consistency wins. Like,
how did he not get in the Champion Stakes? The Born Warrior dog. They stuck him in the plate, didn't they? They tried to get him in the Champion Stakes and didn't get in.
He won. I said this last time. He won 7 races in Shelburne Park in a row. I think 5 were AAOs, and they entered him up for the Champion Stakes. And they put him in the fucking plate. And to be honest with you, he won that anyway, but wasn't bad for him to probably get a few runs over 550 in.
A bit of a lower grade.
It's still AAO, but it's the lower. Yeah, like that's. I give me right arm for one of the lower AAO dogs, like, but you know what I mean. Like it's
not even up against the 1 time only or something. You sort of dodging them types.
Exactly, yeah. So like it was probably to get him them few races over 550, but yeah, looking on, he's just one of the best dogs in the country. Like I saw that last week. I actually saw it just shaking my head going, that's fucking annoying me now seeing that someone said he can't win the Derby. Like you go, imagine he was your dog in your Derby semi-final. He is a race card like he does, never outside the top three, and he's ran open class his whole life. And some lad
And the
goes,
dogs that
oh,
have picked it,
he can't win the Derby. Fuck
the
off.
thing is that the dogs that have picked him up as well have been Marie's Wedding, 27.99 Shelburne Park.
Yeah, explosive boy.
Coro, when
Explosive
everything's swung off the boy, yeah, and Explosive Boy. They're the three dogs that have beat him, and you're like, he cannot win the Derby. And they beat him probably like a length and a bit, half a length, and a short head.
Yeah, like lads have to give him credit as well. He did 16.92 to the third bend last week. It's one of the best third bend clocks, just because the Hoffa had done 88.
Yeah.
Like he's just. Do you know what I mean? Like lads don't appreciate how good of a run to the third bend he did. But I never seen Borwer come out out the box like last week. He did 3:34 section. He came out through the bars like.
He can trap like. There's a notion that he can't trap, but he definitely can trap.
But that was the first time. Yeah, that was the first time he'd ever I seen him trap.
Yeah,
like that in a race.
He's a bit like Hoffa in that respect. I think Hoffa's the same. I think he's got.
I think Hoffa's more brute early. I think they're both brute early, aren't they? I think they're not pingers necessarily. They've just got raw early pace.
From the winning line to the third bend, they have ridiculous pace. Like absolute ridiculous. And I'd always over 550, especially when you're a wide dog, the two of them. That's what you want. You want that raw pace because the night, if you're dependent on trap, the night you don't trap, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Like your man Bocco's Buds, it's a bit like that. He's kind of like he needs to kind of break, but he still can't do the third bend sections that they can. But yeah, no, honestly, like, New and Taylor was like that as well. Wasn't a great like the difference between him and Pastano was could ping the boxes. He was like a catapult out of traps, literally as good as you could come out of the boxes. While New and Taylor was more that kind of raw pace into the third bend.
Yeah,
like that's why New and Taylor has two faster third bend sectionals than Pastana ever did. Because Pastana had to do the 3:30 sectional to do it. Like, but hold on, we're talking about the superstars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. It is very, 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 very good comp again this year. Very good comp.
I would love to see the Gore Kelly Nest dog qualify because the fella who owns them is just an ordinary man who keeps a couple of dogs, doesn't spend huge money, and you just love to see him do well. Like he was in the semi-final last year, he finished fourth or something, missed out by a length, and like he said, I think he said it was the first ever Greyhound he had entered in the Derby. And last year he got to the semi-final, and then this year he's in the semi again. So you just love to see it, like
you know, running well, Port Calnester.
Oh, he is running well.
Yeah. Which just shows he backed up the Balnabula Ed form from the week before. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's kind of going, "Oh, was he stopping Balnabula Ed and all this cracking?" No, your man just backed it up.
I think he is a bit though. I think the Ed dog is a little bit lazy.
You think that, but then you look at his times and go, "How could he be like?"
Yeah, but look at him when he raced against Sally and he got to the front and he kind of just went, yeah. I just think there's
but you said do you not do 29.40 that night?
Yeah, but they still have quirks though, don't they? The fast dogs do have quirks. They all have a little bit. I do think he sits down a little bit. I think he gets lazy when he's like, when he's bang on it. I don't know. There's something about him. He's hard to get right. I think he's a dog that, as a punter, you're better off just leaving him well be. He's
just not. He's not a consistent trapper, is he? That's the thing. He's not nowhere near. Yeah.
The night that he took on Hoffa went out though. It was uncharacteristic of him to dive for the fence that early.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. He does so many things that you can't.
Yeah, like
it wouldn't surprise if you put him in 2 1 week and he just went out wide. Then you put him out wide. He just does like things that are just not. You want him to do the same thing over and over again. And he just doesn't.
Yeah.
It changes.
Actually, you say I agree with you there, Connor, because I had him. He was in 4, wasn't he? And he actually moved in.
Then
the next week, when after he got knocked out, the next week, Pat put a wide on him. Yeah. Put a wide on him.
Like he usually was running straight to the bend and then cutting at the bend, like most of those middle to wide dogs do. But in that race against Hoffa, it's nearly because like he came out alongside him. He like dived into just a trap 2 position. went straight for the fence, and I'd never seen him do that before, which was strange. And then didn't do it again last week. So yeah, it was kind of hard to work out that race as well for him. But I do, Craig, I do agree with you. He's chopping and changing a lot, and he's hard to predict. But all I do know he's an absolute airplane. So
yeah, he's fast, and that's it. He's kind
like
of
but like lads are saying, he's waiting in front. He did 29.27 the last night, where he waiting in front. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I agree with Craig. Actually, I think most fast dogs have got a little bit of a quirk to them, and he might be a bit like that. He might just need that sort of kind of switchy turny on thing all the time. He might not have the same track too many times. I just think that he's maybe him and Hoffer will stand out, the speedy dogs in the comp that can do, those sort of flashy third bend sectionals and still see the trip out well enough to clock a decent 29-20. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas probably Born a Warrior could do a 29-30 something.
Yeah, he's a 40 dog, isn't he? That's what you'd have him in every day of the week. 40-50 dog.
Born Warrior is
his race.
I'm actually surprised how well Hoffus stayed the trip. I always expect him to do them. I didn't expect him to absolutely fall over. But he's staying. You said like last week, he's going whatever a length quicker than Born Warrior to third bend.
Yeah.
But then you said he's staying on 20 spots better than them. And over 550, that's massive. Like,
yeah,
it's huge. The Born Warrior dog's giving that 20 away running off the bend, isn't he? So he's probably not staying any harder.
Yeah, but he doesn't really stay though. Anyway, like I know lads are giving away, but he doesn't stay 550 properly. Like,
no, he doesn't.
But it's just the weapon to the third bend over 550 Shelburne keeps you in the top three. It's simple as that. Like, you do 16.97. If you even do 17.10, you're going to be competitive every race. Like, no matter what way you come home.
The Crypto Punk dog as well. Like, he's getting a bit overlooked. Like, I mean, he's got massive pace as well.
Yeah, he's massive. Yeah, he has, to be fair.
I mean, Hoffer's done everything right last week, and to the third bend, I think there's 2.5, 3 lengths in it. And he's done that. Hoffer doesn't always do everything right, and you just think there's a bit more. He's moving off a bit. He could hamper the 4. And the Crypto, there's so much pace from 3 to 6. I just think if you looked at that race before the Derby started, you just want to be on the blue because I think he's so well drawn. But he, like you say, he's probably run a bit flat last week, and that'll be the put off thing for it. When you're talking about like 14, 16 Betfair, it could be a dog to have like pence on and just gets him on.
I keep thinking that as well because I don't think that was his running last week. I don't think it was his running. And it's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of people are saying that he wasn't really Ballymac Finn's running, and yet they still chalked him up at 8 to 11. Do you know what I mean? So whereas with Explosive Boy, it's almost like, well, yeah, he's probably had his chance, and yeah, he's his second Derby, and it's a hot race, and yet if that was to say that was last year, there's no way he'd be that price.
Thing is with the Finn dog as well being 8 to 11. The thing about, he's going to move out to the middle, and he's got away with murder so far.
Yeah,
being in red and stuff, and he's moving out. And I just think if Skywalker Barry comes away, I just think there might be carnage on the inside there. I'd want to be on something on the outside, probably want to be on 5 or 6.
I thought the bitch and 6 is an unbelievable draw in that, because it's a 5-dog heat as well. I thought you said the same thing as you. Just thought she was probably the better of Gorky and Esther and her.
Yeah.
And she is strong runner as well, so she's going to be very
hard.
Got
a bit of early as well, hasn't she?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, and she kicks on again up the home straight. If I had her and you're in, I think I'd have said to myself, we've a great draw here, and especially with the dog out, it's a 5-dog race now. She's going to be very hard to knock out. She said Marie's Wedding's issue is Ballymac Finn basically causing trouble for her,
because the one could just push the two into the 3.
And have we got an opinion on this next race? Because this won't be that far away. A couple of minutes, really.
I bet they're ready. I had 2 to 1. I just thought the 2 would move off ever so slightly. I thought the 3 was sort of stepping right, and then it corrects itself a little bit. I don't think it's I think he'd do whatever box you put it in. It'll just take a step right. And then Emily's Jet will probably edge in ever so slightly. And Ballymac Ben just doesn't break. And I just thought it's a good makeup on the inside for Well Met, like.
Yeah. I must admit, I thought Gary Vojo had slightly better early than Well Met, but last week Well Met was on the outside. He was trying to get across. He just couldn't quite. I think from the inside, if he whips round, he might just find himself that length and 2 lengths again because of the draw.
Yeah.
But I think Gary Vojo is an improving sort of dog. It'll be interesting to see actually how good he is. And I caught him in the first round actually when he ran against CryptoPunk, which is obviously his kennel weight. And
you have 33s in him, do you? Yeah, on this
33s, yeah. I think he's 10s now, but
he's got proper early, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got. That was the thing, Craig. I didn't really know how well he would stay, sort of thing. So I was just taking that chance at 33s, but they're all locked and loaded. But a tiny bet on the one here. Here we go then. Derby Plate semi-final. First 3 qualify for next week's final card. Her approaches. Lids rising away and racing, and 2 Toolmaker Wild got a smart start, but it's early pace from Well Met and Gary Vojo into the turn. They just bumped somewhat, and on the inside is Well Met that goes on by a length and a half from Gary Vojo. Then in behind these comes Emily's Jet and Ballymac Ben. They're clear then of Ballymac Drama. At the back of the back is now Toolmaker Wild. Round the 3rd and 4th turns of Well Met, still with a length and a tail lead from Gary Vojo. Snapping at heels now, cuts to the inside to challenge up towards the line, straightening up, and he kicks again. Well Met goes on and scores from Gary Vojo, and Ballymac Ben running on. Might just be a photo there for 2nd and 3rd, but no doubt about the winner. Well Met draws, win races, and the winning time there was 29.59, 17.23.
Yeah, I agreed with Craig. I thought he did a great draw thing, but I thought he'd actually come away better than he did, though. He actually was brave to hold off 4 at the bend.
Yeah, I think he's got slightly better early for, isn't he? But again, I think that inside line, and I was talking to Dylan and Ian about it on the podcast we did and with Matchbook, and I just find the inside line is such a massive advantage at Shelbourne. He's caught the heels actually there, isn't he? He's tried to challenge again, Gary Vojo, and he's just caught heels, maybe just coming out the 3rd turn.
Yeah,
I thought Ballymac Ben was close enough there to get involved, and
I was surprised how close he was at the 3rd bend. I was the same as you, Craig. I literally watching the race go, and is he a bit close now for this? Yeah.
So I was like, any chance you can leave us alone?
But yeah, what you were saying there, Pierre, about the inside. Definitely on the 1st bend if you can hold your pitch.
Yeah.
But the 3rd bend, the outside always passes the inside.
Yeah. So it's like, you kind of got that at Nottingham a little bit, didn't you? The 3rd bend, not as bad as Shelbourne, obviously, but I'm just saying, I think you're right. The 1st bend, they just seem to whip round, and all of a sudden, I found that a toaster as well. Tom was doing some sectionals at the 1st bend, and I was looking, I'm thinking, oh, what a pile of shite, really, because. It doesn't, but really, but stats are all there to utilize to make an assessment only. But what I was watching is that dogs on the outside, if they do that even a half a length better sectional, it didn't make a difference because the one was on the inside and all of a sudden found the length and was in front coming out the turn, and that's the. Where you can use sectionals to certain advantages, and I think draws are whatever you do when you're punting, you must know where your dog runs inside, outside, which lane they run in, and I think it just shows you, especially at a track like Shelbourne, I think that inside line is the advantage, and that's why so many people, such as say with Ballymac Finconnor, oh yeah, he's inside. But he's not. That's not really his ideal box, is it?
Stick him in the 3, and I think it was 3 or 4, and I think he's an absolute good thing.
Yeah, he's He's an inside seed. He's an inside seed. Theoretically, on paper, if you're an inside seed, you're thinking you're supposed to trap one, supposed to be your ideal trap.
Yeah.
He says, but then he's a dog. He says if you're actually putting inside seed them and you're actually hoping, sure, if I get 2, 3, or 4, I'm actually delighted.
Yeah. And yet, and yet, it looks like he breaks from the red box.
He's got away on a straight line. He's had Majiko outside him, hasn't he? Who's not been hitting them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when it's funny enough, but the thing is, Craig, when he had 2 and Majiko was in 1, he never really got away from him, did he? That was the thing.
Well, Majiko
could be that. See, this is what I think. Maybe because of that 1 box, for some reason, I don't know why, it makes him come out. And I always think that if you don't really want trap 1, you don't really break. So he's that kind of exception to the rule. I always think, like you, really, he looks an ideal trap 3 box. Wallop. But it seems like he breaks, he moves off, and he takes the eye line of the dogs on the outside of him. Do you get what I mean? So it's crazy. He really is, I think, an exception to the rule.
Yeah, I just think as well, like, I think he's got away with a couple of things a couple of nights where I think if something like Skywalker Barry was there, obviously a fair-sized dog on his outside, you're just not going to be able to knock him out of the way. And that's going to be where he's undoing. Like you say, but he's coming away from red. Like, it's a weird... You can't, if you're Liam and that, you're kind of thinking, do you want the box or do you not want the box?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
But
you want to come away,
but sometimes if you come away and you pace well, you can actually clear the field, and then on the bend, you're the one left to go around the front, and you're actually giving the rest of them trouble. Like, I know if he was in the UK, there'd be lads giving out about his season. They'd be going, "Oh, he has to be middle C. He's moving too far off." And
it's like Signet Ace, isn't it? When that was drawing red in the derby, doing the same thing.
Yeah,
and he was just like pushing across.
Yeah, because nothing can lead him on the fence, and then you move off, and then you're clear the field, and then you're left to go around the first 2 bends on your own because nothing can get around you. The only danger to you is a wide C dog that can go up to the bend with you. But I know, it's interesting.
Was the same as well. I've just always been a fan of, like, for me, if you're a railer and you don't want like the sort of 1 to 2.25 lane, you shouldn't be seeing rails. And if everyone played fair it just would never happen, but it probably needs racing managers to have a bit more backbone and, well, to actually... I've got a dog who was meant to be having his debut on Wednesday, and we've trialled him from 5, because he was like in 4 and he was going up straight, and we've just gone, well, we'll try him for 5. He trials out of 5. He dives in a little bit. He probably wants the 4 box. That's where he is. No problem. And they've just stuck him in the 6.
Yeah.
And you're like, because he's trialled from 5, it's like, oh, will he be okay in 6? And they've stuck a wide tag on him. So, like, he's obviously been pulled off. Like, there's not happening. So, yeah, they just don't watch. It's just like, it's all right just going. The amount of dogs that just, I don't understand why Kildare's got a middle. You know, if you're looking at Ballymacfin having a rail seed, why has Kildare got a middle?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. See, I know, but the middle seed for what they're thinking is that you're going to be in 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And the dog who's outside you will stay out there. And what they're thinking is he'll breaks better from there, that he'll have enough early pace to clear the field, especially over 5'15" Shelburne. That's a lot of lads do. Like, sometimes even lads put wide seeds on them just so they can't get hit from the other side. Like, because the worst thing for a dog like Kildare is probably, say, he's in trap 2 and there's a dog that dives across in 3.
Yeah.
They're trying to avoid that situation. They've enough faith in his early pace that by getting a 4 or 5 draw every night, he's going to lead. He'll lead up.
And in theory, you could have a decent draw by virtue of a railer in 3, in theory. But because no one seeds correctly, it kind of never works out like that.
Yeah. I do get why they put middle seed in Kildare. I do get the reason, especially over 5'15" Shelburne.
He wants the 3.
It wouldn't work in 5'5" racing because the run to bend's not long enough. But in 5'50" with his early pace, you can clear. But like, yeah, Hon, it's interesting. But you should imagine a race with imagine there was like a Deer Jet Sydney in 3 and Ballymacfin's in 2. Like, you're just gonna cancel each other out, like, or sing along Sally in 3.
In the derby, we had it. There was Coney Wonderland in red that wanted the 4 box. Prince was in 3. He wanted the rail. and then the 2 dog was Dear Jet Sydney. He wanted the rail. So you've got one going off and two other dogs going into it. And it's just like, I said something on Twitter and Carl Perry took a bit of offense to it. And I just said, well, start seeding your dog correctly. And he starts showing me videos of the dog running down the back straight. And I'm like, how long have you been in this fucking game for? Like, have a look at him to the corner and watch him when he's every time he's run from 2, he's like going out to the 5 lane. I'm like, you can't be that stupid. Like, it can't be possible for people to be that naive and think, oh, this dog trying to justify he wants the red. He doesn't.
Yeah.
But there was loads of dogs like that in the Derby, and there always is, and it's not going to change. But something needs doing about seeding, I think, in general.
I think it's really, really simple. I mean, like, the thing is that in Australia they don't have seeding now. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't really know. And I think
it's definitely different though with the inside hair, though. I'd say over there.
I think you're probably right. Yeah,
because they kind of, if you notice Australia, they kind of run in lanes. If you get me, and all the tracks, bar obviously like a couple of short, whatever, the 6 Ben race over there and that, but all the top 4 Ben racing, they have a huge run to the corner. So dogs kind of can assert themselves in races. Do you know what I mean? Like even dogs starting trap 8, if they're an early pacer, they'll lead like. But yeah, like even over here in like the 80s and whatever, before the late 90s, there was no seeding like in the Derby. Like I remember my dad saying like when they were on dogs, there was no seeding. It's like you can get anybody.
I've always thought the best way to do it would be just to turn around and say, what trap do you want? Rather than saying, what do you want, middle rails? Yeah.
No, exactly. That is the easiest way to Craig. It is the easiest way. Gary Noble came up with it originally. What is your ideal box? Yeah. And it just seems to me so logical. You're not always going to get your ideal box, but you're going to get closest to it. And the point of the fact of the matter is that, like you say with the Ballymac Finns and the Dear Jet Sydneys, say in that scenario, Connor, they're not going to get drawn the wrong way round.
Yeah.
They can't get drawn the wrong way, because you would say with Ballymac Finn, yeah, your ideal box is 3, and you'd say Dear Jet Sydney's 1. But the thing you mentioned, Sing Along Sally, you say, well, yeah, she wants 1 and 2. Well, they would be 1 or 2 or 2 or 1, and you'd go, oh well, you know,
yeah,
that's
the way it goes. Yeah, exactly.
That's the way it goes. That's fine. But it's when they get the ridiculous ones that you just think that, like you say, Craig, that's wrong. It's just wrong. Yeah. It's, why do we allow it to happen? If we're so worried about welfare, if we're so worried about, you know, getting dogs in the right boxes, I mean, you know, fuck me, you get that enough with graders putting dogs in the wrong boxes when video watchers can say, what the fuck are you doing there?
There was a race at Doncaster on, I can't remember, Wednesday night. I think I was in the office. Now, I don't watch Donny anymore. And it was on the screen. And I saw a race framed, vacant 1, that was always vacant, so it wasn't like it just come out. Raisbury Babe in 2. And my mate Colin, who wants the 5 box, sat in 3. And the rest, they're all like A2 dogs. And I'm just looking and going, that's been framed for, like, you know, that if you turn around and said, like, let's give Raisbury Babe a win, you'd go, that's how I'd frame that.
Well, she's already won 3 in the bounce, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Like, no obstacles or anything. And it comes back to, again, like, I mean, they're not, these racing managers, they're not watching. Like, if you watch, well, my mate Colin, Go Wink, whatever you want to fucking call him, like, if you watch the dog run, you can see he's a 4 dog who pushes off a tiny bit.
Yeah.
He probably wants the 4.5 lane.
Yeah.
And yet they're sticking him in 3. It just baffles me. Like, I just don't.
That's probably because they're limited for and you draw the conclusions with the fact there's no red dog. There's probably very, very limited railers available at that time. So I get that, but I think that's not your best example ever. But it's an example. But yeah, there's too much lazy grading where they kind of put dogs in the same trap and all this. Someone said the other day about, and I've never got it, rails to middle to rails. What is the frigging difference? I just really, really don't know. And I don't think the race managers know, if you get what I mean. So it's I think that's why if you have like you said, the ideal box or the ideal lane, they're not always going to get that ideal lane. And in that scenario there, Craig, I don't really think that was.
But it's the same thing, though. They get I think dogs get pigeonholed.
Of course they do. Exactly, they get pigeonholed. Yeah, they get pigeonholed because of a lack of effort to understand where they want to be. If you get, I think
sometimes it's easy to do it as a punter as well. Like, you can easily turn around and just go, you pigeonhole stuff. If you're not watching closely all the time. It's very easy to do and just go,
oh, no dangers.
Well, that's this and that's this.
Yeah, no dangers.
And it does, and I think racing managers, especially, because they don't have enough, maybe don't have enough time, maybe don't have enough staff, I don't know, but they just
and they don't have enough inclination sometimes as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're not as clued up, are they? Like, and the standard of racing managers going down. Like, I mean, the kid who's at Monmore, Craig Gardner, like, I'm not like he had dogs in with Joy Andrews and that, and I think he's a lovely fella, but Jesus Christ, man. Like, if you was to tell me he was going to grade a race, like, your eyes would light up, Probably not grading the races. He might be doing like a director of racing thing, but at some point he will be grading races, and you think you've got to know a little bit about greyhounds or about draws and where dogs want to be, and you've kind of just the standard of like people in the industry and a lot of the things that go on. It baffles the mind, like.
Yeah, like to be fair, the seeding crack with racing on Saturday night in Shelburne for a long, long time. Like they're making races where like it'd be a 5-5 race and there's 6 inside seeds, and you go like especially in a 5-5 race, if you're in 5 or 6, you go, why would you even bother turning up? Like,
yeah,
I remember the Night Stars one year. I know you have to put in the best dogs, but like there was a Night Stars race where like remember like Cabra Hurricane, Skywalker Rafa, and all them dogs, literally Rocky Bay Foley, and it was like 6 inside seeds. You go like, it's just a nightmare. Like, it's just the same crack. To be fair to Derby this year, at least they were separating that there had to be at least 2 wide seeds in each heat in the draw.
Yeah.
I think up until semi-final. So like at least that was spreading it out a bit. But to be honest with you, that advantage was kind of more to the wide dogs, like, because uses they couldn't really meet each other, especially this year's Derby was mostly wide seeds.
Should be though. Anyway, they should be like like they've always what they've done at the English Derby.
Yeah, it's better to have 2 wide seeds in a race, like, and be advantaged as wide dogs than having 6 inside seeds, like. But like a normal made up Saturday night race in Shelburne Park, they'd have 6 inside seeds in a race, and you just go like, could you not make a race with a couple of wide seeds and move? And then like you look at a race, and it's not even like they don't have the dogs to do it. They'd have dogs. They could have a race with 3 wide seeds in one race. Like, it's just crazy stuff. Like you said, just kind of it wouldn't take too much effort to do. You said you can literally, if you can even have a thing where you can elect to what box you want to be in, as PL saying you can't guarantee to get that box, but you can get probably the next best to it. Like,
well, the thing is though, if you have
the key thing with it, sorry, Craig, but the key thing with that is that you don't get your ideal box, but the dogs that are around you are not going to be chopping across you. They're going to have near to their ideal box. That's the difference. Is the makeup of the race is reasonably good.
Yeah, you're not going to have
context of however many dogs there are.
You're not going to have dogs spewing off to the 6 lane, and you're not going to have dogs in the 4 then cutting into the red, and like you say, it's just cleaner racing, isn't it? And
cleaner. It's cleaner, and that's probably is the right terminology, Craig.
It's
cleaner. There's never going to be you're never going to get everything ideal, but you're going to get it close to ideal. Whereas, sometimes you just think, Jesus, and there is tactical seeding, and there's tactical seeding more at certain tracks, like the Monmore. No one seems to really want to. All the middles seem to be rails, so they're mixed up with the proper railers, and all the wides are in the middle, in the mids, and that seems to be a big guilty track, if you like, where trainers think, you don't want to be in trap 6 if you're a middle, if you get what I mean. So
it was like I use the best example I can give is like the inside seed Clare's Rocket in that Derby, because they knew in Toaster from 5 and 6 he wouldn't have got across.
Yeah.
And he was running an inside seed, and he was literally in trap 1 or 2. I remember, I think he won the semi-finals. But I was saying earlier, he could lead up and just clear the field by moving it to about trap 4 position, and like send the dogs all on his outside out, and he goes around on his own. And like when he was running Shelburne Park, he was a trap 6 dog every day of the week. He was a wide seed, like, and he ran his whole career as a wide seed dog. Then he goes over to Toaster and he puts an inside seed because, as you said, it's tactical seeding.
Yeah, it's tactical, and it ends up. I actually think that it then ruins that dog's chance when they do get trap 1. It ruins their own chance, let alone everybody else's. It ruins their own chance because
you gun shy them as well. I think dogs, when you constantly when they're constantly seeded for trouble and they start hitting dogs, they'll sort of like remember stuff. And like I had a bitch who she wanted
the boxes here, Craig. By the way, let's get the tips out. We'll come back to that because it is one of my great pet subjects, really. Who do we fancy here?
The blue. All aboard.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of 72 earlier on. Three's probably still a little bit big, but I'll be happy to. Actually, thinking about it, I better have a little bit on for Tom.
Yeah, I think Tom literally especially messaged in to mention 2 in this race.
Yeah. So, yeah, read a bit on Tom.
This is the last one of my tricks here as well, so we pray.
Oh, 3 out of 3?
Well, it will be if this wins.
Oh, good man. Right, here we go then. This is the Michael Fortune Derby Plate second semi-final. Her approaches, and they race away. Red up on the inside gets a smart start along with 3 Sunshine Dream, and on the outside it is Kildare that comes round along with the other Cove. And then behind there's a gap back to Ballymac Joey, and she needs to get a bit of a hurry up there. Bobsleigh Dream to qualify around the third turn, and it's 6. Kildare still with a length lead. Then from the other Cove, then comes Ballymac Joey off the last turn, and it's getting hard work on the front end. The other Cove from Kildare. I think the other Cove got there. I don't know who got third. It was tight as well.
I think that was the battle of the 2 dogs paddling off the third bend. Neither of them stayed.
No.
If the other Cove was come from behind to win that, I couldn't.
7.
I thought watching it live, I thought now the second bencher says Kadar's going to absolutely tomorrow now. Once the top's led, he's not coming home. But it just shows you.
And 3 got a good start and squeezed up Bobsleigh Dream, didn't it? So she was the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, I just thought she was disappointed the way she's run all the bends.
Well, she ran the first bend awful last week. She didn't run that again.
Even there, just like eased herself into the bend and the tail went up.
She did. Yeah.
On the straight, she's different speed, like. But she just on the bend. She just. I mean, I know there's dogs around her and stuff, but even here, look at her. She's looking for a way out into the bend. It's like, oh.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Lorraine said that last week, actually.
Just like. Oh.
If she had found herself though, like if that the way the race ended up, if she found herself within any range of them, she'd have picked them up. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I can't see it. It's just especially because you're better off on the outside, but
yeah, that might be sick. Actually, Kildare might have won that.
Yeah, it's usually the outside in Shelburne. At that stage, to be honest with you, I could never expect you to come up to pick him up, but if he has, Jesus Christ.
Basically.
Yeah, well.
I'd have said 6 watching it live, but it's closer than I think.
Yeah, I thought 1 had got up in running. I thought 1 had got up, but I think looking at the freeze frame, I think 6, and it always seems to favour the outside.
Yeah,
Connor?
It does, Def. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ended up with a meatloaf. 2
out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. It feels bad though when the first 2 are fucking won.
Yeah, she's. I'm glad you said that, Craig, because Lorraine said that to me last week. She said she's definitely looking after herself on the turn, Bobsleigh Dream. She's going mad on the straights. I mean, it's funny because Tom said at the start of the comp, we did a preview. He said at the start of the comp, he said he got no doubt the Bobsleigh Dream is the fastest dog in the comp.
Yeah.
And that's a bold statement, really. But, you know, in a straight line, she'd probably do a 29:30, I think, staying in her head.
The thing is with her, I just think she's like you say, she's looking after herself a bit, but for me, she's jacking in before the bend. It's like she knows something's.
Yeah. It's
either
like
she's
thinking there's going to be aggro when there probably isn't. Yeah.
But anticipating everything coming into you.
It's funny because Pat always says that she is one of the bravest and boldest, tough and hardy bitches that he's got. Do you know what I mean? It's but it might be. You know, I always find this quite a lot, and you watch graded vids quite a lot, Craig. It's not. You know, when we say we put dogs into a compartment and stuff like that, sometimes you know that a dog will get a whack at a turn, and then after all of a sudden his form just tails off because he's probably remembering that he got that whack. And sometimes you kind of need that. You see, you can't do that in the middle of a competition, a 4-round competition like the Derby Plate. But that's where the good trainers will go, right, I'm going to give this one a solo, and get that out of the head. Well, you can't do that. You can't have an extra run within. But I think that sometimes that's when, I'm saying talk about grade is probably more than open races to a certain extent. But sometimes it's good that someone will have the wherewithal to say, this dog ain't. It's just not just looking after himself in the turn. I'm going to give him the confidence booster by having the solo. When they come off, they go, "Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it?"
Yeah,
yeah. That's always the worry when a dog gets DNF'd or turned over. That they remember what happened to him at the bend. Like I remember, to be fair to Paddy McFinn, he got a terrible fall in a race. I think it was his first 550 in Shelburne. And then the week after, you're watching me think he's going to ease up. To be fair to him, he just went on about his business and won. But yeah, some dogs can just remember what happens, and some dogs never recover from that at a certain track if it happens to them. As you said, but yeah, I like even stuff like remember the time Wolf pulled up in Nottingham that race. I'd have personally never went back to Nottingham. He got to the final the year after, and he went wrong in the final. They were unlucky in that end of it, but just that whatever happened to him that night, you just can't explain.
He was a terrific fast dog. He was.
But even I know, even I won't go on about, but even in the course, and there was one of the top dogs. It was called Watchman. He won 2 Irish Cups. When he went to Clonmel as a pup, he pulled up in the middle of the field and looked around him, and people couldn't work it out. And then 1 year later, I think it went back. He won everything, all the cups, got back for the Champion Stakes in Clonmel, and literally exact same thing, exact same point in the field.
No.
He pulled up, that's an open field, looked around him, same thing, and everyone was going roaring, going, what, lads would ever laid him, whatever. But it was crazy. And then he went to the Irish Cup. He won. He literally was one of the best coursing dogs the last 20 years. But he went to Clonmel twice. He pulled up exact same spot in the middle of the field. So whatever happened to him, he says literally a year later went back, did the same thing again. So they can be creatures of habit as well,
Gougain Jet won at Monmore, by the way, the fast sprinter. He didn't have a lot to beat mine, but he did the job.
Just winning every week, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fucking up.
Yeah, 60 Kildare did it. It's funny, isn't it? Because he just kind of, he looks like, and he did that. I thought he did that at Toaster as well, didn't he? He just kind of turned the corner, didn't he, a little bit during that comp?
Yeah.
Whereas he looked a little bit, he was okay, and then all of a sudden now he's won 3 on the bounce, and that's probably a little bit what we just said, Connor. He's probably just got a little bit of confidence all of a sudden, where he's got slightly better braking sorted out now, and he's getting a clear run. So
yeah, to be fair to him,
eyes wide open.
To be fair to him, the night he went out of the Derby. Was he not in that ridiculously tough second round heat? Do you remember all the best dogs were drawn?
It was in 5 and Beaumont was in 6 year.
But yeah, Beaumont, yeah.
And I remember it was a crazy, it was ridiculously good heat. In Marie's wedding and all that was. I remember she was 12-1 that night in that race. All the best dogs the same heat. To be fair to Kildare, he's definitely one of the most underrated dogs in the country in the fact where he went into the Kirby unraced and got to the final, won the semi, was impressive through the stake. Then he went to Toaster, ran up the English Derby. Then he goes into the Derby because next second round, now he's in the plate, and he said he's won 3 in the bounce. Look at his card, he's unbelievable. He's just you can easily forget about these dogs. Look back at their cards and their CVs, and he's just wherever he's gone, he's done it. To be fair to him, the night he went out wasn't that red hot heat, so can't blame him. But yeah, he's just putting together. He's just a fantastic dog. They're a great litter as well.
Like Craig said, really, he's not again. 6 isn't his ideal box. I think more 3, basically 3 or 4. But
it's just that we were saying earlier, me and Craig, when it's the 550 in Shelburne, I see why he's seated there, just because they don't want the dog to come across him from his outside, and he has the early pace to lead up, so you're just getting a cleaner run. It's what because a lot
you get sometimes when you get that clear daylight on your outside, you seem to run that length quicker. Yeah.
If you have those dogs but raw early pace,
Yeah.
that you want to be out in 4, 5, and 6 in Shelburne.
Yeah.
You just get enough time to run to the corner. Like saying to your Beclairs Rocket earlier, like he was a wide seed, probably wanted trap 3 and 4 was probably his boxes, but just by putting him out in 6, he was getting a clean run to the bend every night, and just with his early pace, you just get a run.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bobsleigh in the final now, isn't it? Sorry, Bobsleigh doing qualified, didn't she?
Yeah, third.
Yeah. The best 3, to be fair, in that he qualified.
Would you be surprised if she didn't run in the final?
No, she ran the final.
She'd run that.
No, she ran. I think actually you made the comment, Craig. I think actually a lot of it might actually be in the head.
Yeah,
I think it might actually be in the head. You can't do that. You can't do that running. She's got beat by 2 quick dogs there, and she got beat bollock all by 2 good dogs, by the way. And she got squeezed on the run up. But you're right. Now I don't know whether she's feeling something. I honestly really don't. I don't.
Because some muscles, like, you can run in a straight line, but it's only when you start to turn.
Of course, but she's doing it. But you're saying she's doing it before she's getting there.
Yeah, she is.
I think that's more head than physical.
You'd think so, yeah. Especially because, like, if you look at a grader doing that, then you probably go, well. But she's definitely got a quirks anyway, hasn't she? The night when she got to, she's like a
same sort of business. I think most quick dogs have got.
But I think she's worse. I remember I was in the box with Ian Fortune one night in Shelburne, and he said to me, she doesn't stay, because she got to Susie Sapphire. And I was like, I looked and I said, she's an absolute fucking lunatic. That was my opinion. I thought she was a complete and utter crank like. And then she's gone and done the clock over 570 in Tralee. And I'm just sat there and I'm like, I said, I was pissing myself. I went, because she refused that night against Susie. She just she got to it and just completely refused. And I think that might be something where she thinks probably too much about stuff, like where she's going into the bend. And
Craig, you said 2 things tonight. You said that Balnabula Ed stopped when he got to
Single-on
Sally. It's a conspiracy against Pat Buckley. That's what it is.
Maybe Single-on Sally. Maybe Single-on Sally is just really good, Craig.
This is what happens when he won't sell me a fucking good dog. This is what the problem is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm going to tell him all these dogs are quirks and that, and then I want to get one off him. It's all a ploy. I'm not buying Ed though, because I'd go skint if I had him. But no, it's.
Yeah, that's true. Changing the subject. Robert Johnson. What do the lads think after the heats in the Ledger and the Birmingham Cup?
I can safely say I think I watched maybe only Davy Branch a few of the heats. To be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. I watched Paul Matthews' dog in the Ledger that went over. I didn't really pay attention to the rest of it, to be honest with you. One of a massive opinion on it, but I was just seeing all the big names were winning, like Derby's Light, Call Me Steve. In the Ledger anyway, they're all still there.
What do you think of Ruinart then?
Of who?
Savannah Ruinart.
I didn't see that. To be honest with you.
I'm
not a big fan of Sixpence, to be honest with you. I'd be shocked at people for saying that. I think there has to be something dodgy about you to run over Sixpence. There has to be, bar maybe the top 4 bent dogs to go over for the Cork Cullen over here, but it's either
over in Ireland though. They're all straight over there. Yeah.
Well, no, but to be fair, the dogs have won the Cork Cullen have all been top class Derby dogs. To be fair, but like that 8 bend stuff and that 6 bend, the Golden Jacket, like you'd be dizzy looking at that. Like, do you know what I mean? Going around Crayford for 2 laps, like.
Oh no one should ever have to go around Crayford. Like Crayford's an absolute.
Golden Jacket, you can go out and you can open a bottle of beer and come back and the race is still on.
You could probably drink it if it was a graded race. Okay, no.
I think it was was it the TV trophy at Romford? And I remember actually, I think I went in for a piss and came back, and it was still on the same race as Miller.
Hello. That's who's calling the golden shot, isn't it? Right. Anyway, so is that end of the Ledger and Birmingham? Have you got any opinion on the St. Ledger of the Birmingham Cup? Tricky, you're on mute, is it? Mute. You're on mute.
Dog Esther, you're muted. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Mute. Mute. That's it.
There you
got it.
Do you want to know what that bet was, by the way? I wish I'd have left this on. £4,000 on India to win the toss at 10 to 11.
No.
I shit you not. Fucking hell.
Fuck's sake.
What goes through these people's heads? 10 to 11 to win a toss.
Okay, no.
You should go to casino, just bet red and black. He'd get a free beer. He'd probably get a free bit of scram, and he's probably had the value on his bet.
Yeah.
You know, he's lost his 3%, but he's probably made that up in terms of if he has a monkey on, he can probably sink about 25 quid behind the bar, and he's had the value. Joke, absolute piss take.
Are you trying to take the piss out of him, or are you giving out advice to us? Is that what you're saying? You're giving out free advice?
To him more than anything. If he's watching, like I'd be very much of the outlook. Go and get yourself in a casino rather than keep playing the toss markets.
Right, we better set this race up because this is the first semi-final of the Irish Greyhound Derby, and I've actually had a few quid on Cooler Vanny Hoffer because I think he's getting a good price now.
I was Born Warrior like nearly 12 and 13 on the exchanges. It can't be that. Just cannot be that price. The bitch in red's mega short as well. Well, she's not mega short. 10.5, it's gone now a bit. What? 92 the bitch. Hoffer's probably still a little bit shorter than what I had him to 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him a little bit bigger. I had him in about 7 to 4. Just because I thought this. I mean, he raced Callaway Pro-Am the last day, and what excuse did he have?
Well, I just don't think he went wallop, basically.
No, he didn't. But I don't think he's that type. I think he's like we said before. He's a bit of a. He paces up more than anything, and I think the Callaway dog just has a habit of trapping every time.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, to be fair tonight, they ran against each other. The track, that was the flood night. Well. That was the flood night. The track didn't really suit it. Hoffa wants a speedy. Like, yeah, to be fair, they both have to run it like as well. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, yeah, I wouldn't read into that as much. Like, but hold on, the Callaway dog is the only undefeated dog left in the Derby. He's an unbelievable pup. Like,
but to clear them both, he's going to have to go wallop, isn't he?
He has to. Oh, he has to. Come here. He has to.
You're betting 6 to 4 on him going wallop. Would you want to bet that like for his career?
Yeah, to be fair to him though, Born Warrior can probably do him a favor, if you get me. But if he can hold Hoffa up from getting across, he can hold his pitch probably. Because Born Warrior does move off the bends badly. He is the nightmare draw for Hoffa. Like, you said if Explosive Boy can clear the top. But you said the tree goes up well as well. So look, it's
the free's edging off though, isn't it? Ever so slightly moving into the 4 lane. There's such a case here for the blue being so well drawn. Like, I mean, but I just think the Warrior dog at like 10.5. I mean, I had him in about. I think I had him in 5 to 100%. That's roughly what I had him. I had Offer in about 7 to 4. I had the Callaway dog maybe 7 to 2. And I had Crypto Punk any price, really. And I had Crafty Kokoro in about probably 13 to 2, something like that, to 100.
It's just a ridiculous semi-final, though. Like, the records of these dogs are just like 4, 5, and 6's win records from races to wins is crazy. Like, it's fucking mental. Like, and even then, he says Explosive Boy, he has the CV. He's not a prolific winner around Shelburne, but he has the
yeah.
CV. He was in the Derby final last year. He's won Dundalk Internationals, Select Stakes, Dog of the Year last year. Then you have the Cork and Cullen winner in one. So like, it's just unbelievable race. Like, yeah, it's as good as it gets. Like if this was the final, lads, you'd say this is one of the best finals in a long, long time.
Yeah, you would.
So what the book looks like.
You would.
So,
last couple going in then. The nails will be jangling now for all the connections.
Hoffer's the loser on the book.
Just about to be checked over.
Okay, come on.
Crafty Kokoro in 1, Explosive Boy in 2, Crypto Punk 3, Callaway Pro Am in 4, the only unbeaten dog in the semis, Born Warrior 5, and Call of Annie Hoffer in 6. Her approaches, and they race away, and Born Warrior gets the best break. Call of Annie Hoffer looking to challenge into the turn, and then in behind these 4, he's looking also to move up there. Callaway Pro Am moves into 3rd spot, and down the far side, Born Warrior has a length lead from Call of Annie Hoffer, who's going to drop up on the inside to challenge at the 3rd turn. And it's Hoffer, can't quite get past yet, jumps over the back of Born Warrior. Born Warrior goes on once more from 4 now. Callaway Pro-Am, who strikes for gold. Callaway Pro-Am goes on from Crafty Kokoro, ran on, and Border Warrior, I think, got 3rd.
He did.
An eventful race, and Callaway Pro-Am still unbeaten in the Derby. 29.64 the winning time.
Oh, we're good. We got 2 cheers in the final.
He has to be one of the most genuine dogs in training, Callaway Pro-Am. Like to win, like how he's won that, like to fight to win that race, like he is.
Bomber, I think he chases. I think he loves the chase. I think he does enough when he's in front.
No, I don't agree. I don't necessarily. No, I don't agree with
Pro-Am. No, Craig. He is. No, Craig. He is just fucking genuine as fuck.
No, I don't agree with you.
Have a look at the litter, and they're all absolute screwballs. And watch him whenever he's at the front. He sits down. He not sits down. That's probably wrong. But I think he's doing just enough.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think.
No. It's not.
I think that's just tenacious. I mean, look at him. Like he's got rubbed over with 3. He's still keeping his lie. He's still trying to get to the turn.
Oh yeah, he is. But he's in behind dogs, isn't he? That's what you're going to do if you chase him.
He was desperate, by the way, Hoffer. He was desperate.
He's ran a monster race there before. To come out and win it, like that was mighty impressive. 5 has ran an absolute storm as well. He's held Hoffa off the whole way.
If he chopped his nose off here, he probably wins. If he doesn't let him up the inside. I mean, Hoffa's been clever trying to go inside, hasn't he?
Has he done that though? But why hasn't he stayed on the inside? What's he done jumping over the back of him?
I think it's because he's cut the rail, I think, at the corner, hasn't he? And then he's like, because he cuts onto the rail and then he swings off.
He was always the bogey though for Hoffa, like that. He was the worst dog.
He was.
If you had Hoffa,
because he's outstarted Hoffa, isn't he? That's the thing. The key to Born a Warrior is he's outstarted Hoffa and he's giving him every chance. I mean, obviously, you have to say Hoffa is a faster dog than Warrior. Even in running there, he's desperately unlucky.
And to be fair, why he's wrong for Hoffa was wrong for Hoffa as well is that he can go to. He's one of probably the only dog left in the competition that could go to the third bend with Hoffa.
Yeah, correct.
And he says that held him up, and they were sitting ducks then for. Like I just said before, Crafty Kokoro was dead. Like I thought she was an absolute sort of qualifying the top 3, just because. But I can't believe watching. I thought 4 was in danger of not qualifying going into the third bend. I thought she might be too close, but she came through to win the race then. So. Oh no! To be fair to 4, like Callaway Pro-Am, he's special dog. Like
he is. Actually, you're right.
He is. By the way, I was a bit nervous then because I bet them both obviously to win a few quid, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" When the draw come out all week, I've been like, I can't see a scenario where both go through, and somehow managed to get them both through.
Crafty Kokoro's some bitch though. She's an absolute machine.
Oh no.
She's an absolute machine.
I wonder if they'll go to the 600 comp with her.
The run to the corner doesn't suit her. But they will probably run her. I don't know. You have to see like there's
Jesus.
She is special. She's class, though. She's class.
I must admit, we do these pods, and not the last one, the one before, and I said, the only value really is Callaway Pro at 11. I never backed him. And then the last one, I said, well, probably I should be betting Carter Kakara. I never backed her either. And I've just stuck with the Born Warrior and Call of Annie Hoffer. And
the thing is, though, what's going to lead Born Warrior in the final?
Nothing.
He's fast. He's fast dog at her bend. Nothing. Guaranteed.
Yeah, nothing.
And that's the thing. You won't have the offer dog inside him doing his fucking nutting at the third bend.
And he's
got a massive chance now. He has to have a massive chance.
He'll get 5 or 6, bar Leicester and Ting qualify. But yeah, he's guaranteed 5 or 6. So,
well, even still though, I think he'd lead them anyway, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
I mean, so he wouldn't. I don't think it would make a massive difference to him.
Yeah,
I prefer him out of the 5 because he's had the 5 the last few weeks, and I think he's breaking from it.
The biggest thing for him was getting into the final.
Yeah,
I mean, because for those type of dogs, the one-off race where you're going to be in front, it's lead that. It's get in front and ask questions later. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
And if he does a 16.90 or 17 seconds to turn bend the final, something has to come from behind him. So fair play if you can pick him up. But yeah, no, he can't win a derby though. He can't win a derby. According to Twitter, he can't win a derby.
And the same bloke also made the same statement. He cannot leave Callaway Pro-Am and he cannot leave Call of Annie Hoffer into the turn. So, yeah, love to see it.
Love to see it. Yeah,
that's breaks as well, isn't it? When you break like that and you outstart Hoffer, now Hoffer's got to get around him. So I think you know you have to, I don't know if you agree or not, but I think you have to say
Hoffer's run a great race.
The faster dog than Born Warrior, but draws
win races,
scenarios win races. So and you're right, Craig. The fact that this dog now, the makeup of that Hoffer's gone out, enhances Born Warrior, despite the fact that he's finished third today. It enhances his derby prospects massively.
You want the Callaway dog in 4, if anything. Now get him in 4, and you want Finn in red. The insides are a mess, and you just want 5 to lead round clear and just fucking gan, because there'll be some absolute. I mean, it's just going to be good because there's a few of us on it, and like it'd just be good to put a roar up in the final.
Yeah.
But if he wins it, don't get me wrong. I think Dylan said he's tempted to go Vegas, so I might go fucking with him on the Sunday morning. I just jump on a plane and fucking gan.
But it's ending up like we were saying earlier, Craig, about like the derbies, like where the later stages, early pacers when they meet each other, whichever one leads the other one usually goes out and it ends up with stronger runners. So the further a competition goes on, the early pacers get thinned out, and now he said he's now the only dog that can do 16.90 probably third bend.
Yeah.
And now it's a one-off race. Like, lads forget the derby final becomes a one-off race.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters now, does it?
No, exactly. And like even in the other semi-final, there's no dog in your semi that can do 16.90. The dogs
to be fair as well, Connor. When you say it's a one-off race, then when you're analysing a one-off race, you're looking for the leader, aren't you?
Yeah,
definitely, 100%. Again, if you can lead a derby final, it's
and do 29.40 in front.
Exactly.
And if something beats you, but like you've every fucking chance. Like
exactly.
He's the dog that she says I'd be happy. Hold on, look, the Callaway dog. To be fair to him, he's won every round. Can't complain. Like, if McKenna does 2 years in a row, 12 from 12, he won every heat with Sicklong or Susie Sapphire. If he wins every heat with Callaway Pro-Am.
What was the third qualifier? What finished second in the race?
Crafty. Kokoro.
Oh, she was second, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, she was second, yeah. I told you before. She just the makeup of the race was just made for her that she was a cert to qualify. I know you're saying explosive boy, but she absolutely.
He's probably not been doing his running, has he?
She put manners on last week, and he obviously didn't run to a standard. But like, bar he massively improved. She's deadly. Like, she's fucking class. Like, you like to see always a bitch gets a final as well. Marie's wedding is a great chance. The next one as well, but
they're always popular, aren't they, in the final if they make it?
Yeah. Hun, to be honest with you have to be a strong. Like, I know, to be fair, no sing along Sally and Susie Sapphire, but usually the strong running bitches are the ones that can compete over 550 but keep qualifying. Like, you know, the ones that you said are classy over 600 yards and 575 and that. So, but yeah, hold on, class. Is he your biggest winner, Craig? Yeah, he's the best. Yeah. Is that why you're called the Born Warrior Appreciation Society or something?
That is exactly the reason for it. Well, put it this way: I had when he was 25 after the first round. Well, you was there in thingy, weren't you? And I was just like, I won't shut up about him. And I was like, literally, I wanted to be on him. And I had a monkey at 25s and a monkey at 20. And I've not had any more, but I was tempted by the 12 when he went 12. But I backed, I had 1,500 quid Callaway Pro Am at 12 when he went 12. So I went after he beat Kulvani Offer.
Yeah.
But again, for the same reason, he just beat Offer and he was like, over 10 to 1. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Adrian knows that, but I'm obsessed about his breed and just that line. It's fucking crazy. Like, goes from Skywalker Queen, who won the Oaks, Dundalk International, fucking top class. And then it went to Mount Taylor Queen, who was 28-18 around Shelburne. And then it's gone into his Born Warrior. And like the other Colb is his brother. There's 3 pups in that litter. And now he's in the plate final and he's in the Derby final. So keeps you in the right grade. I'll look up his card. I think what's his record now, Born Warrior? Fucking mental.
Just get over the line next week, you can't.
17 races, 10 wins, 5 seconds and 2/3. You know, unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't realise that was the other Cove's brother.
There's only 3 pups in the litter.
Really?
Yeah. The mother had bred Scooby Princess, who was a Derby semi-finalist last year, and she was runner-up in the Oaks as well. She's just a class Mount Taylor Queen. She's just top class brew bitch. But I'm looking there. The Callaway Pro-Am's record is 13 races, 10 wins, and 2 seconds.
Oh, right. There's something from Peter Richardson. What was the thoughts of the GBGB third round rule? Not speak at the trains before making the decision. I think that's the most pertinent part to it. Really, is not asking anyone. There seems to be a lot of decisions lately, Craig, without really any consultancy and
of the people who have the dogs and train them and know them and fire them up for comps, and it's a joke. That just sums the game up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
stuff like that happening. It's just like, well, there's no. Is this the right? They don't consult anybody. It's like people who have pens and ties on are making these decisions for people who are dog people. They're idiotic, really. Some of the things that are happening, but like the 4-day rule, I understand it graded and I understand the 6 days and a thingy, but if you've got a dog that you want to switch about and he likes quick runs and you want to keep him entertained, then sometimes
that's the thing is that really, from a jurisdiction point of view and the policing of it, then if you're unhappy about certain circumstances, then investigate that, ask questions, and deal with it accordingly. Don't just put a broad spectrum of a rule across affecting everybody and tying everybody in knots. It's just it's that is a bit stupid for me. And regarding this, I don't mind. I think to a certain extent, again, I've always I wrote a paper to the GBGB Yonkers years and years and years and years ago, and I got paid lip service to that when Amanda Duplock was there, and they said at the time, oh yeah, well you can't raise the minimum prize money because of Henlow. Well, that's one track. You're basing your standards on one track. Everybody's got to come up in quality, not dragged down to the lowest denomination. It's just I just don't get it. And we've allowed mediocrity and to just take over, and the standards, like you say, the standards have dropped so much.
It's in everything as well, isn't it? All across the board.
With odds on, with 5-dog races. It's just now it's become madness. Right now, the next point is, and you'll know all about this, Craig. Lads, what with the swearing? There's no need for it.
To be fair, I've been on good behaviour tonight. Normally, I'm calling everyone a nonce. You know what I mean? So, this is the mild version. Sorry.
That's good, though, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah, you've got to have a bit of.
It was. Oh right. Did any of you lads back Hoffer? Yeah, of course we did. It was up there on the screen. me and Tom backed Hoffer and backed him anti-post. Yeah,
he was my last anti-post.
Yeah. So
I could see my bomber's face after the race. It was like the slump in the chair and the head in the hand. There's nothing worse.
Yeah, and this is a good point as well, Keith Buck. It's like the GBGB have a meeting to decide how can we piss off owners and trainers more than they already do. They're always a law to themselves. Yeah,
it's just sat there just trolling everyone.
That they say that they're only there to police the sport, and yet then all of a sudden these rules come up. Mate, honestly, it's incredible.
It is.
They've actually asked Lorraine to go back and be a stipendiary steward again to open out because no one wants to be a stipendiary steward, and she is so. I mean, she's perfect to be a stipendiary steward because she was a trainer, and she has got a clue about dog racing and stuff like that. In the same respect, when I was a race manager at Greyhound, my stipendiary steward was Irene McNally, who was an ex-trainer from Catford, and really nice person and could deal with problems in the right way. And I think Lorraine's very much in that mold. And I just think you don't even deserve her because I just think what's happening at the moment. I just think, please.
It's just things like George Cunningham putting his license in. I know he probably doesn't do it the best way on Twitter, calling them every name under the sun. But it's like literally that's how people are feeling about the game.
Exactly.
And like they just keep burying their head in the sand, saying, "Oh, like it doesn't matter." It's just one or two. It's the vocal minority. No, it's not. The game is gone. Yeah. Like, what have the GBGB done for the racing side of it and the prestige of the sport? They've done great for welfare, but what have they done for the prestige of the sport? Absolutely fuck all.
Yeah, nothing.
They don't promote it in any way. The promoters don't promote.
No.
Whatever.
It's a very frustrating state of affairs, and I do agree with you on that one, Craig. Yeah, I thought at the start of the week 3-1 Marie's wedding was probably the value, but it's now 11-4, not quite the same value. I don't know. What do you think on this race, lads?
I thought 6 was a great draw. Just if Paddy McFinn causes trouble on the inside, something from the outside, then I'd fancy 6 over 5. Just she is very quick as well. Like, so was she there 5? Was she 6? Yeah.
Yeah, about 6 dead. Yeah.
She's definitely were an interest bet anyway on it. That's what I go for anyway.
For the best part of 4-1, you can get them both. I just play them both. That's how I play. Yeah. And I might even cast them because if the insides do come together,
you played Nesta as well, Craig.
Yeah, I'm going to play them both. I'm just going to play them
on the vacant trap scenario. Yeah.
And obviously the one's coming off the fence and could cause havoc.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair comment.
I don't particularly fancy anything strong in the race, but it's just more.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither.
If the one gets trouble, I think then you're looking to 3 and 6 as your most likely winners.
Yeah.
Two surprised me last week.
He ran a stormy, yeah.
He nearly picked up Paddy McFinn. I was literally Scark Barry's not a dog that you've ever seen to come from behind. Yeah, to be fair to him, he probably had just ran flat for a while. He came back from Toaster that time and he just ran a bit flat, so he's probably just got better with each run. But to be fair to him, he's very consistent on his 340 sectional, so he can go to the bend. He's classy sort. 550 was, funny enough, was never really his trip, but yeah, it's interesting enough now. I think 6 is a great draw, even just in terms of qualifying. If you had her, I'd be delighted to draw.
Yeah, I bet 3, 5, and 6. Just really, I suppose I'm against one at that price anyway. So, as you say, Craig, one could hit 2. So, behind the boxes. So 5 took a fair hit. Track 4 vacant after Vincenzo was unfortunately withdrawn earlier in the week. Favourite is track 1. Liam Downing's Ballymac Finn. November 20 whoop. His sister is track 3, Marie's Wedding, who's second best in the market. Starter comes to check them over, away with the flag and the hare runs then. Track 1, Ballymac Finn. 2 is Skywalker Barry. 3, Marie's Wedding. 4, Vacant. 5, Gort Kelly Nesta. And 6 is Droopy's Nice One as a hare makes its way towards the starting boxes for the second semi-final of the Irish Greyhound Derby. And away and racing, and Ballymac Finn gets a good start along with Murray's Wedding, looking to clear him into the turn. It's Murray's Wedding on the outside of Ballymac Finn, who pushes his way to the front. Then comes Gort Kelly Nesta, who just got held up there with Droopy's Nice One. And down the far side, Ballymac Finn goes on by a length from Murray's Wedding, who's looking for a way past going into the third turn, but one kicks again and goes on. Ballymac Finn, a length clear still from Marie's Wedding. Then in behind these comes Droopy's Nice One. Look at the qualifier, and one has pulled away in the closing stages. Ballymac Finn wins it from Marie's Wedding, and Droopy's Nice One back in third.
You wouldn't mind being the breeder of 1 and 3?
Yeah.
You'd be on for a bit of a touch possibly next week.
They're both running for, was it 12.5 grand for next week?
I'll tell you one thing as well there. Gort Kelly Nesta, like, how desperate are you? Last year 11th outside getting a Derby final, this year 3/4.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
And he was there as well, wasn't he? At the second turn.
Well, you think here it's certain qualifier, don't you? And just it got held up by the
off and 6 cut inside, and then touched him,
To be fair to Top now, he was very impressive there. No, you have to give it to him.
He stayed well, didn't he?
Did, yeah. I actually thought that she was maybe too close to that. She was maybe just sticking maybe too close to him. But
from what you saw last week, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that like Skorka Barry caught him last week, but yeah, he's just got that extra. You said she came out to the bars and he just had that extra bit at the bend. You says holding the inside pitch and just held her off.
Impressive.
Well,
I didn't catch the time. Did you catch the time?
29:48.
It's amazing, isn't it? It just seems like he seems to break well from one and just use the his inside draw, and yet you still think he was trapped 3. It's amazing.
What was the first semi-final time? Do we know?
I think it was 60 something, wasn't it?
Was that where it was?
Yeah.
60 something, yeah.
Yeah.
29.64.
64, yeah.
Born Warrior did 3:39 section.
And I think it was a 17:01 to the third turn as well.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't get that third pin split. Normally I look, but
draw after the plate is out as well, actually, as well.
Is it?
Garfield Joe. Not yet. No, it'll be straight on. It should be actually straight after race. They usually do it on the.
So what's the plate draw?
1 Garyville Joe, 2 Bobsleigh Dream, 3 The Other Cobe, 4 Well Met, 5 Kildare, and 6 Ballymac Ben. To be fair, Kildare is a good draw.
We've got one loser in the book for France. Ball Murray. How does that happen?
Not for you, though.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I hope Fred does his dough. I'd not give a flying. I hope he's watching as well.
You might need Bournemouth to win next week now, Craig. Because after you get sacked.
I'll be right. They can't sack me anyway. Too valuable.
Was that 17:10 or 17:18? I couldn't work that out. So the third bend. It's a bit fuzzy.
I thought it was 10 looking at it first, was it?
Yeah.
I think the dream draw now is Ballymac Finn in 1, Callaway Prom in 4, and then Paul Murray in 5, and everyone's happy.
Would you prefer him 5 than 6?
Yeah, because he's been getting 5 the last few weeks, and he's been coming out of it consistently.
He's breaking better out of 5, yes.
And Droopy's nice one doesn't go to the bend anyway, so she's not dangerous on the run up. Like Hon, he's a guarantee. Like he has a great draw now, no matter what. He's going to lead up on the inside, on the outside. So, Jesus, Craig said if Ballymac fins and 1, it's an ideal draw for him.
Perfect. That's what we want.
The worst draw for you, Craig, actually is Ballymac fins and 2, and Crafty Kokoro gets 1. Because if he cleans the field, she's the one that can get after.
Yeah.
That I don't want. And I don't want Galloway Pro Am being inside.
You want her in the middle boxes.
Oh, 100%, yeah. One her in 3 and Callaway Pro Am in 4. And the Findod in red. And then just everything carnage. Well, not carnage, not too much carnage. Just polite carnage. No one gets hurt. 5 scoots clear and 5 just wins the derby. And that'll...
What prices, Craig? You may reveal to us what prices you're on now.
What, pre-draw?
Yeah. Do you back a pre-draw now?
We don't normally, to be honest. I mean, I could do, but you pro am dog.
When did you back Born Warrior after second round? Was it first round?
After the first round.
And what price was he after the first round?
25 to 1 and 20s. And then he wasn't. I mean, he was 12 even a couple of starts ago, and me and Dylan were speaking, and we both thought that was like a bit big, but didn't double dip at all. But yeah. I mean, all being well, should get a shout in the final. He should go around in front and
exactly.
I know what's going to happen though. He's going to break the heart. He's going to run off wide on the last bend, get beat a short head, and just completely ruin the weekend. Like, if he wins it, like he can come and stay at mine. Like, he can just come and live on the couch if he wants when he retires. The offer is there.
Are you win only or each way?
Nah, win only.
Yeah, I'm win only. Yeah,
I always do. I just think it's easier to get if you know when the standout prices, I just find it much easier to get a decent bet rather than if you went in and asked for like a grand each way something at 25, I think you get knocked back to maybe 250, 300 quid for standout. But when you bet on the nose, I just think they've more chance of feeling like they could get beat.
Yeah.
So that's how
you trade enough.
It's just I kind of know how a lot of them think because I know I'm more willing to lay a bet on the nose than I am each way.
Yeah. Yeah, your mate Davey Branch has been on, Craig. You're taking him next week, aren't you?
Yeah. He's coming over.
He's on babysitting duty.
GB should be putting out content replays daily on their social channels, but they are. I'm going to see what they do is retweet everyone else's work, which was what Dave's been doing lately, and it's been incredible. The views, it's absolutely incredible.
I know why everyone takes the piss out.
Did they first stop him doing? I remember he was doing it for ages. Like I remember he used to post all the replays, and then him and Nauso were the two the kings of Irish and UK replays on Twitter.
The thing is, like, I mean, they stopped. I mean, RPG TV stopped him doing it, and then when he gets like the traction behind one of his tweets, they start tweeting underneath his fucking tweets. Like, how cheeky can you get?
That's what he's saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. I'd have been half tempted to block him there, like.
But to be fair to him, like RPG will post some replays, but they just don't get the same exposure as when he was, or if Nauso or him were posting.
Yeah, because he's doing the right ones, Conor. To promote ground racing.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
So, and it's funny because, the two lads that are interested in the Australian stuff, Neil Price and Hassanaka,
Rich Hassel.
Yeah, Rich Hassel. Yeah. Like Rich said, they call them that sort of box office dogs, where those dogs, like Crafty Kokoro, for instance, Conor, last at the third bend, comes flying through. They're the dogs that grab people's attention, or the extreme cases where they come from out of the picture to come through and win. And that's what, because it's, and this is the beauty, and this is what, we have these conversations with Harry Finley about the stuff we're trying to do with the show. These are the box office. These are these are the things that attract greyhound racing enthusiasts and people outside of greyhound racing. Are these dogs that weave through, and that's what he likes. He loves to stay. Like he was involved with Flying Winner, and he loved Spirit and Louis, who Lorraine trained as well. Do you know what I mean? So that sort of dog that excites, that gets the crowd going, that like the Skirlow champ, that sort of no hoper into a champion sort of thing is how you can promote the sport quite easily. And it's 30 seconds of excitement. Do you know what I mean? Or in the stairs, 40 seconds sort of thing. But it's so easy to do, and yet, like we were saying earlier on, it seems to be such hard work.
Yeah,
to get the basics right.
But even you said, like, even posting the replays of the old races, like he was posting a load there, like you just like dogs that like you just haven't thought about in ages, like, and then you just seen them and you just remember, like, like, he's some dog, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, hold on, they've the sport's best interest at heart, like, but some people just can't see that.
I think there's just there's quite a few dimensions to it, and I think our sport under the GBGB is a bit one-dimensional. Do you know what I mean? It's like Craig said, they've done great with welfare, but it's not about welfare. Welfare should be second nature anyway. It's a gambling sport, and we forget it's a gambling sport, and that's why even like Craig's in that. He's in a position of working for a betting company, but he owns dogs, he punts dogs, he's interested in dogs, he looks at, with you saying yourself, he's looking at breeding, and that's the difference is that we need to get that across, and that's all these different aspects and dynamics to the gambling sport and the different markets that you can get as well, Craig. Like the quirky markets, people like that sort of thing, don't they?
Well, that's the thing. Like in the final, like we'll do a handicap, we'll do inside versus out, we'll do probably betting without. We'll group some dogs. What we'll do all the sort of random stuff and always trying to like create a market, maybe do times, winning distance, all them sort of things. You've got to put a bit in. But the thing I've always found is like, I know everyone says it's a gambling sport, but I think that side of it's gone. I think actual bookmakers are the rare now. I think it's more like a sportsbook mentality where the actual people who are producing the line and going up with prices, these firms don't want to know that side of it anymore. They'd sooner just copy, be in the middle of the market, and that's what Freds are. I'll be honest, that's all we are. And it's shit for me because as someone who will have an opinion on stuff, being told to then go 7-2 a dog, you make 9-4. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, I'm not going to sit there and price it because you can't have an opinion and you can't knock bets down if you're 7-2 everyone else and you bang in the middle of the market. How can you say no to a 2106?
Yeah.
It's like, even though I make it shorter, you can't win, can you, in that situation?
Yeah.
You could become like an admin person.
Yeah.
So the gambling side of it's going a bit, and I think like James does a lot of stuff for like Ladbroke Coral, and I think Ray used to do quite a lot for Sky Bet, and they've but just that side of it's going, and I think it's getting worse as a gambling product.
Yeah,
because there's no. They're all just like it's not even like
I think quite easily it could be so much better, and I don't get why we're just languishing the way that we are, and the model that we've got is just so stagnated and so bad, and it's really, it's the media rights stuff that's really dragged it down, because you can't even say it was Bags in the old days, because at least there were standards when Bags had, he had a Bags contract. There were standards. There's no standards now. It's just anything goes, just to put out bingo numbers.
The problem.
Go on, you're right, Connor.
No, I was saying, even away from, like he says, the gambling side of, like, even like it's fundamental. There's a fundamental flaw when it pays more to be a worse trainer or have worse dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I know obviously, like, graders, you need graders, but graders are a byproduct of the top grade. Like, fellas don't breed dogs to have graders, but yet in the UK it pays more, you says, to turn up for your run money than try and do everything and put money into getting a dog ready to try and win a big stake. And then the problem is, there's these Cat 1s, but I looked at these Cat 1s where it's 10 grand to the winner and $1,000 for second. And you go like, this dog probably cost 30 grand to get him over here, 25 grand. Like, so
Yeah.
it's fundamentally flawed in that sense, where it pays more to be a worse trainer. That actually it rewards failure, if you get me.
Yeah,
In a
yeah.
sense.
Oh, the draw has been done, by the way.
Oh yeah, Keith has up there.
Yeah.
1 Pro-Am.
Yeah. 2 Kokoro.
Yeah, Marie's
Wedding 3. Paddy McFinn's in 4. Born a Warrior 5, which you wanted, and Troopers Nice in 6.
Good box for him, but actually, it's a good draw for Paddy McFinn.
It's not a bad draw, is it? I mean, and having said that,
he's only just led it from the inside this time.
Yeah, I was going to say, can he clear Marie's wedding, his sister? Can he do that?
Do you not think Pro-Am should Pro-Am not lead 2 and 3 though?
What's the colorway Pro-Am is the red, isn't it?
In 1, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big runner from there, Pro-Am, surely.
Yeah, he is. I think he's crafty.
Even though I think he stayed middle, I think he's just a dog that will stay straight. I think he'll stay straight.
Hold on, Born Warrior has his box 5. You can't complain with it, like, you know.
No, I'm happy enough with the draw.
No, because he should get a clear run, shouldn't he? He should just break.
He's going to lead
well, show his early and lead, yeah, and it's where Pro-Am turns behind him again. So
it's actually probably the best draw for a clean run race, if you get me, because like now Paddy McFinn won't clear the field, like, so it should be clean the race. So Crafty Kokoro won't get involved early on. So and Marie's wedding actually breaks well from Trap 3. I noticed, and her best breaks have been from that box. So yeah, it should be. Look, I don't think any connections are going to be disappointed with the draw, if you get me.
I think they'll all be pleased enough, won't they?
Because even for 6, Derby's nice one, like Born Warrior, like you just want him to be away and gone from you anyway, because you know,
he's
going to lead you anyway. So yeah, it's an open. We'll see how it goes, but it's open enough now.
I think Pro-Am's going to start favourite. Like
I was going to say that
he will. He has to. Yeah, he's 5 from 5 in the Derby. He has to.
It's going to be a 6-4, 11-8 chance, I think.
I was saying to Craig there, like, Owen McKenna's going for 6. He won 6 from 6 with Susie Sapphire last year, and he's going for 6 for 6 with Callaway Pro-Am again. So
ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finn got a shocking draw. Not for the fact that he does move off though.
No, but no, in a straight line, it's okay. I think it's just I don't think it's got a shocking draw because you get a clear run. I'm not too sure I agree with that. It's whether he can negotiate a path past Marie's wedding.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. So, but listen, Edison's mighty short. Mighty short.
He's very short now.
Cool.
Probably spell. Jesus. Shit, oh, I'm crashing the PC. Brilliant. Oh, there we go. I'm
just about to go behind the boxes. I better set this race up. It's about the even money mark on the exchanges. Just ream. There you go. 1.99. There's sort of an 8 to 11 chance on the show.
I just found it hard to find a dog that I genuinely think could match his ability, like in that sense. Like, I know he is very short now.
Yeah,
but at the
3
same
can
time,
crash, 6 can crash, but that's about it. Yeah, Urban Fire's an interesting dog because he's got good Shelburne form from this sort of box, But
yeah,
whether he can bounce back to form or not is a different matter. But tricky enough.
I think Dex Guinness here as well. He's been running well.
Yes. Yeah, he has. He certainly has. Here we go then. Race 7 on the card. Short price favourite is Droopers Edison, who's in the Kirby final. Trying to bounce back to form from the red. And away and racing. He broke okay-ish, but it was 5 Lockranza that leads into the turn, along with Dex Guinness up on the outside. Then comes Droopy's Edison's moved into third spot, just in front of Urban Fire. Down the far side, and it's Lockranza, still with a length and a half lead from Droopy's Edison, who's on edge closer. Just check the stride there, though, and drop back to third, and allow Dex Guinness to move back into second spot as they turn for the judge. Lockranza, full of running, and will run away from the field in the end. 5 beat 6 and 1. Dex Guinness second, Droopy's Edison only third.
I don't think he's running.
No, he's checked up the third bend. He was coming with a great run, but he seems to have he's either. I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up something, but he's completely checked the stride into the third bend.
He's not even rushing up like he used to.
No, he's not going to the corner. No, he got a great actually run here on the rail.
Yeah, he railed and got himself in the race. Yeah, you're right.
Heading into the third, he's going well, but he checks and then checks terribly at that third bend.
For no reason,
he just
really.
pulls up here, look.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, he's a dog who probably has had his issues, you know. It's probably a hard dog to keep right. And you said 5 had the form around Shelburne, to be fair.
Yeah. No, I said 4. 4 at the 4.
Oh, 5, sorry.
Urban 5, yeah. But thought broke better at Shelburne than over the 525, yeah. No, I mean, look, Lockranza really stays. So to go bang like that and get to the front, it was always going to be hard to pick him up. Yeah, I just thought Edison was miles too short, me. I don't want it 6-4 against to have any kind of bet, but.
How would you price the final then, off the draw?
Right.
That's what's your expertise, Craig.
Well, this is what I'm literally doing it right now. I think it's like I'm going to watch Callaway Pro Am in red before I do anything. That's the first thing I've got to do. I think that's the only Callaway Pro. I want to see if he's ever running red. I'm looking at him tonight out of 4. You'd sooner him being red than 4 anyway.
Just the fact that Crafty's not going to, like, Crafty doesn't try, like, he's not going to go to the corner.
There is the bell. The runner is in 1.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
So
he's run out of Sheldon Park
if he has 17 dead to third bend and won the heats, I do know, like, won the night. So, like, he can.
Yeah.
His task is just to lead Marie's wedding.
He is moving up, like.
But if he goes up, if he paces up, he should go around the inside.
Yeah, I think. Am I right saying he edges off more than sort of violently moves off?
Yeah, he edges off. Yeah, he's raced out of red 3 times and won all 3 contests.
Yeah.
He's not doing. I mean, the Kilkenny's gone straight. He's just edging off ever so slightly. That's all he's doing.
I was told. I was actually sent a picture of the check that was paid for him when he was a pup. And like I looked at him and he got to the unrace stake final in Kilkenny, but he was bought off the race in Clonmel and he was doing 28.60 like in Clonmel. But the way Clonmel's gone, I thought like that was crazy money for him.
Yeah.
Like there was dogs it's gone crazy quick and I didn't think of anything like I thought he could definitely run, but I didn't think he was worth the money that was paid for him. But geez, he's a cheap dog now for what he was got for.
Do I take it you know someone called Noel Fitzsimmons, Connor?
Yeah, no. That's Dylan's brother.
Dylan's brother, yeah.
Hey, Arlott.
He's a fraud. He's some sneery fucker.
Right.
He did that last week or 2 weeks ago as well. Also, I
think we can all agree on that bit.
Noel must have had a point because he must be pissed.
Yeah, I think he's going to go in short. So,
Conor McCormick is a fraud. Fuck's sake.
The dirty, no good.
Fuck's sake.
So, here we go.
I think you just have to close your eyes to first bend a Crayford to see what happens. Like,
Yeah. My missus has gone to what's her name? Dawn French tonight. She got invited. She said, "Do you want to not do the watch along tonight and come to see Dawn French with me?" So I said, "No, thank you."
That fucking idiot. Come on. Go to bed. Sit down. Don't be going nuts. Fucking idiot.
is that Craig Prince, is it?
No, this is Rosa. She's she was shite, to be honest. When you go, you were shit, weren't you?
She deserved a sofa.
But I'll tell you now, though, I had 400 quid at 92 on her this day at Bellevue when she was chucked in. Better at 7-2, 5-2, 7-4. She won, and then that rate she came home. I only bought her at Hall Green Sales because she was full of fleas and ticks, and I felt dead sorry for her. And I paid minimum, I think 350 quid was the minimum buy. So I ended up giving about 365 for in guineas or something. And I paid for a pet, really, but yeah, you're not a bad lass, are you? Yeah. Glass. Like, who's going to go in second? Who am I going to put in second favourite here?
Born Warrior.
I've got him in second. This is how I bet it. I've gone 11-8, 6, 5, 4, 7-2, 25.
Doesn't sound right. Why should you have Ballymac Finn in it?
4.
Yeah.
That's what I've gone with, and that's what I'm just going to open with. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't give a shit. It's not my money. Who cares? Certainly not fucking me.
Fuck's sake. There was a few cans of Guinness down the fridge at work, and I was tempted to take them, but then I was like, I just know someone like Noel would screen record me drinking in the office and then send it to my employer, and then I'd be sacked.
Top class shithousery. That should be in there now, shouldn't it? I wonder if Boyles are up, actually.
It should be. Should be on Twitter anyway, I'd say.
Dogs. Anti-post. Irish Crown Derby, yeah, they are up. They've gone 9-4 Callaway Pro-Am, 5-2 Finn. Callaway Pro-Am can't be 9-4.
They put him in 9-4.
Yeah.
And that's Damon Lonergan doing the price, and he's part of the McKenna camp.
Oh, they must be shagging him. Like, that's... Oh, I'm going to go 7-2 Ballymac Finn if anyone wants it. Come and get it. Might be gone when the tennis trader gets in the morning, like. 6.4 Pro Am. That'll do me. I think live. I don't see how Finn can. I don't feel that, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Did you price out?
Yeah, I've gone 6-4, 6-1, 5-1, 7-2, 7-2, 25. I originally had Finn in at like 9-2, but I've ended up shortening that to 7-2 just to bring it more a little bit in line. But the Callaway Pro I'm at 9-4 can't last.
Who's that with?
Boyles, if anyone can get it.
Jesus.
It's just a ridiculous price. Well, it's wrong, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
There we go. Jobs are good. I have fuck all else to do now, work-wise. And I'm paid till 10. Lovely stuff. Things you love to see.
It's getting some coverage tonight, though, Shelburne. Like, you have it on RPG TV and then you have it on Virgin Media as well.
This is a good one. My missus just texted me. She said, "You all right?" So I said, "Yeah."
Robert
Johnson, Dawn French about as funny as standing in front of a firing squad. Brilliant.
True enough, mind.
I went on holiday probably a couple of 3 years ago, and I read a book of hers. It actually was quite entertaining, but like a novel she wrote. But I used to like The Vicar of Dibley, but thought it was funny. But yeah, I don't know.
You get more jokes on Watchalong there with Trickies.
Exactly. It gets my missus out the ass because she never fucking stops working. She's always on the go. It's incredible. She's like one of them, whatever it is that keeps working.
Workaholic.
Yeah. Incredible. She never stopped. Never stops. Anyway, all we know is that Conor McCormack's a fraud and he's got a shit
I was about to say, like, I can't believe I've been called a fraud in this chat again. Like,
you've been called a part-time farmer, though.
Outrageous.
I think Adrian's on the sauce again tonight. Yeah, I just messaged Adrian saying Pro Ami's 9-4 with Boyles. In fact, I'm going to try and bet that with fucking. Hang on, fucking. What do you reckon they'll lay? What should they lay in a derby final?
You think something decent, wouldn't you? Especially if they're sponsoring it as well. So they should in the derby final, like, no.
Sorry?
They should, like, lay a decent bet in the derby final. You think so, like.
True enough.
They were fairly scarce opens at Oxford last night, weren't they? Like, couldn't believe they actually had it on with the same night as the Puppy Cup and that. Like,
yeah, a bit strange.
Like, they were opens, but like there was races like where there was probably one or two dogs that were actually, even if that actually open class dogs. Like, did you go, Craig, to the opening night
of Oxford? No, I ended up working. I really wanted to go. But yeah, I didn't manage to get there. I've not been able to get there, but I do want to go at some point, especially on a Saturday night, because everyone's just saying it's class like.
Although I thought, looking at the coverage, the crowd didn't look as good
last night. Yeah, Friday night, I suppose. Earlier start as well. That's what probably is costing them a little bit.
I thought it was a 7:30, 7 something start, wasn't it?
6:36, I think.
No.
Yeah, that's what they started at, 6:36.
Right. I'm going to check that now because you've said it.
Oh, it's true. It's true. I was working last night. That's the only reason I know. Otherwise, I won't have a clue. Like. Oh, for fuck's sake, Rosa.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
The up or down?
6:38, and that was the thing. That when we went to Oxford, Kevin said, "I'll come to Oxford," and me and Lorraine went to a speedway meeting. He said, "Look, this massive crowd, blah blah blah," and he said, "Oh, this will be Friday night and Saturday night. There's no SIS contract. It's perfect for us because of the footfall that we get with the catchment area. I'll be having 7:30 starts, and then the fucking hell, as soon as they go on Racing Post TV, and it's 6:30 start, and you, as you say, you think, well, hang on, that's now going to impact on your footfall. What are you doing that for? Because if Shelbourne can say, well, our meeting starts at 7:15,
why can't they?
So Racing Post starts at 6:30. Well, is it a 6 o'clock?
Just
why
have
not
two
just carry it
races?
on? Everyone wants it, so why are you doing it? And this is what I mean about, from the top to the bottom. Why don't you say, look, to help Greyhound racing, we need to start at 7:30 as opposed to 6:30? Yeah. It's fucking brain damage. Sorry for swearing, whoever.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating. It's just frustrating. I don't get it.
Even Shelbourne, like they did start earlier starts since COVID, but Shelbourne Park Saturday night was always 7:45 usually, first race like. But I did know every night, even when it was like that.
But Connor, I don't mind a bit of a compromise. Do you know what I mean? But
exactly.
6 o'clock and 6:30, fuck off. Like people can't get there.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
It's that thing, and it's just they shoot themselves in the foot, don't they? But meh. It just carries on happening. It becomes laughable.
Yeah, it does. It carries on. It carries on until people get sick of it and then start buying horses.
It's like throwing money into a fire.
Yeah.
Dogs isn't far behind mine.
Yeah, true that as well. You think track dogs are bad? Imagine trying to buy coursing dogs there, Craig.
Oh, no. Not for me, that.
Bottom's got a good draw here. Night honcho, isn't it? I can't put the market up because Matchbook's crashed. So we can't even get a bet on.
I've managed to get $1,000 at 9-4, the Callaway dog.
Have you?
Yeah. I don't know why, because I've already started him at 12. My mate of mine just got me on, then I just messaged him, said, what can you get me this? And he just come back and he said, I've got you $1,000. I was
it's like, not what you know.
It's who you know.
It's who you know.
I'd love to see it.
Right. Here we go then. I thought 2 might be overpriced here. Ballymac Darcy are at 6-1. Wave the flag then. $550 race. And away and racing, and Night Honcho on the outside gets a good start. Mina Melody pacing up and challenging into the turn, and Mina Melody will go round in front from Victor Maximus, and then in behind these comes Night Honcho, looking to make ground now is Hunagusoon into the third turn, but 4's kicked on here. Mina Melody has a 2.5 length lead over the 5. Maximus, who's in second, then on the outside comes Night Honcho in third. So they turn off the last bend. It's 4 bounding away to success, goes on and scores nicely. 3 and 6 involved in a photo. Abby Lee Rosie was staying on to good effect and may just have snatched second and went clear to the drop. Yeah, fairly level break that, but 6 marginally the best start.
I'm just going to disappear for about 15 minutes.
Say again?
I'll be gone for 15 minutes. I'm just going to go and help her indoors out.
No worries.
I literally had no opinion on that race.
No, I thought it was Tough enough, yeah.
It's not a great end card, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 4 got to the front, and that was it, really, wasn't it? Just kept on.
Yeah, she has a nice card. To be fair,
Bit hit and miss at the start, but I thought broke with the field. Really got inside 6, who looked like he could start itself and probably edge in a little bit, and yeah, ran away from him. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been a massive fan of 6 was favourite. I was just looking at his card, like he's just kind of done the circuit, like hops around from around that A1, A2 grade, and then he was up to AO, like, and just them type of races. Like, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm actually surprised with the 550. Usually, them type of races are 525s, like, but
yeah,
trying to mix it up anyway. So
it's back up now. Apologies for that.
We try and go for a few winners now.
Yeah, I was the same as you. I thought the back end was tough enough.
I think you're up a few quid, are you?
Oh, only small now. Yeah, give a bit back.
Better up than down.
Yeah, no, got in front with the Crossfield bitch in the second race and fell for Hoffer. I thought he was unlucky, but
he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't mind that bet. But
desperate now that he's not in the even qualify for the final, like,
Yeah,
it shows you. Like,
yeah.
he didn't do anything wrong. Like, do you mean it's just he said he went across the back of Born Warrior? Probably is the only. He was just the wrong dog from like just knowing same crack. Like, if you had him, the only dog that can go which is the third bend was in your semi final. Like imagine if Hoffa was in the other semi. Sure, like he'd have been out and gone, and
yeah.
And the mine in front probably the third bend. Like, so.
Yeah, but that was the thing. It was a lopsided makeup, I guess. But look, it's it's scenarios. I think the thing is that what killed me was he looked like he was going to come and win the race going inside Born a Warrior, and even if he'd have got inside Born a Warrior, would Prime have come and claimed him? Would Kokoro qualified even herself? I don't know. It's scenarios, and it happened, and he looks unlucky to me because he looked like for all the world he was going better than Born a Warrior going at the third bend, and then got half a length inside him, and then they just seemed to tangle when he dropped back. I don't know. It was cruel, really cruel.
But he's definitely a stronger dog than I thought he was. Canada Pro-Am, to be fair.
Yeah,
I thought he was a dog that would kind of need a guy. I thought he was in trouble heading to the third bend.
Yeah, no,
it shows you like
he's sticking on. He's sticking on. Yeah,
like he did outgun half even the night on the tougher track and all that. And he's won 5 from 5 in the Derby, like so.
How can Marie's be 8-1 and Finn be 5-2 on the draw?
Is that price? Yeah,
it can't be. Who's gone that?
I don't know.
8-1.
Oh, they have. Yeah, Marie's won 8-1 as well. That's big.
That's big. Yeah.
Is that Boyles?
Would
that be Kevin doing that?
No, it'd be Damien Lonergan.
Damien, right? Okay. Demo.
Betfred will put the market right. Don't worry.
That's it.
But no doubt we'll end up with a fucking horrendous book. Bally McFinn will go when I've laid 7-2, and they'll all be like, "Why have you been 7-2 this year? We're 5-2 with Boyles." Like, go and get in the fucking bin.
Yeah.
It was 10.6 on the machine, but that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Mushrooms. But
lovely. What about you, PL? Are you over Friday for the Talking Dogs Roadshow and all that, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're over Tuesday, actually.
Tuesday? Jesus. Doing the laps.
We can't afford a holiday to the Maldives, so we're going to Ireland for a week. That's what's going to happen. Mr. Buckley said, "When are you going to come over? When are you going to come over?" So now we said, "Well, we're coming over." He must have shit himself when I said, "I'm coming for a week." I said, "Look, times are hard. We're going to switch the electric off here and use yours."
That'll be turning his gas off to turn his bacon over, won't he?
That's it. So we're going on the Friday, and obviously on the Saturday. But Lorraine's got friends in New Inn in Cashel.
Yeah,
not far from home actually. And Jerry Ryan, he's got a pub there. I think he knows. Well, I know he knows Michael O'Donovan really well. So that'd be good. We'll go over there and have a visit, and go and see a pup we bought from Paul Ryan.
Was it one of the silver dollars? Is it?
Yes, Ballymac Wild Silver Dollar. So
yeah, Paul's good. Paul's good at posting on social media. Like
it's brilliant.
You see, like the life of his pups essentially on. There was a great picture. Was it that later? I think it was that later. Remember, they were all sitting on a swing or something. A couple months ago, yeah. He's good at that now, Paul. To be fair,
and I like the fact that kids get involved as well, Connor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just good. It's
definitely.
Good.
Come here. That's it. Like it's the future of it. Like Silver Dollars, she bred. She's the bitch that bred the Roxholm dog, the Clocker Romford. Is it?
The Nidge dog, isn't it? Yeah.
Roxholm Nidge, yeah, that's it, yeah. And your man, Goldie's Hoddle, was out for as well. He won the.
Yeah.
The wasn't it the Puppy Cup? What's the other competition around for the? You're right there, Craig. Right there, Craig. The Golden Sprint. That's what Hoddle won. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sprint, I can't think of it. Yeah.
Was that Patrick's dog, wasn't it?
Yeah. And what you do the laps of visit a few kennels and that we were over, is it?
Yeah, just have a mooch round, yeah. I've been over for a fair while. Well, last time I went was last October, November. I think we went to Lifford. So yeah, it'd be good. Be good to go back. Be good. And I think the last time I went to the Irish Derby final was Ballymac Matt, I think.
Jesus,
yeah, a long while ago.
2015, I want to say. Yeah, do you call Farrell Blitz? Yeah, it would be 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I just think the racing and everything over there is just so much better. Just when you go over and I don't know, it seems to be like more of a core of dog lads that go over and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a better standard of racing, Craig. You know yourself.
Oh, shut up. Fucking hell. Give it a rest.
Like you want to watch the Premier League of dog racing. You don't want to watch the League One of dog racing.
If you want to watch the Premier League, go to Sunderland on a Sunday morning. That's Premier League. Obedient Boy and all the rats just going around chewing each other's heads off. They're proper dogs. They're characters.
Yeah.
It's just Shelburne Park. Like it just has a kind of just. It's just the perfect track. Like the 575, the 575 and 600 Shelburne Park is fucking class. Like, but there's it just shows you that like I'm not a massive. I don't like 525 racing Shelburne. I just think it's a lottery. I just think like you have those middle boxes, and if you're in those middle boxes or that, and you can't come out, you've no chance. Like it's crazy how much of a difference the 25 yards up to 550 back makes a huge difference. How like the top dogs can determine themselves. But yeah, the 5 I love the Gain 600. What used to be, or the Guinness 600 or whatever it's called now. Shelburne 600. That's always one of my favorite comps of the year because like there's no excuses in over 600 in Shelburne. You just can't complain.
It's a proper trip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But it kind of is. But over here, it'd be useless. Buying a 600 yard dog in the UK is just pointless, isn't it?
The only track you could run them is Hove.
Yeah, that'd be it. Or you could maybe 630 Monmore, but you're on the bend. It's like a genuine 600 yard dog. Just they're no use to it over here.
Yeah. 575 form in Shelburne always held up well and over the 550 in a Hove. Just because it's similar trips, the huge run to the bend, the big back straight. But the funny thing about Hove is like it's not that easy to come from behind dogs in Hove, even though it looks like I had been at Hove before. Like it looks a great track and everything you're at it, and it's definitely one of the best trips over that 515. But it's not easy. Like the home straight, especially, it's not easy to pick up dogs, isn't it? Like
it's a short running though. That's why.
Yeah.
Similar to like Monmore as well. You come around the bend and you crawl home somehow.
Yeah, I was never in Monmore. Yeah,
Monmore's a nice track and that. Well, you just feel like a Monmore every time you go to the last bend and you go, "Oh, we picked this up," and then the dog on the inside just manages to run a slightly better line, and all of a sudden you've been beaten neck or something. It just does your head in.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem with the UK in terms of top racing is that obviously the issue like with the comps and all that crap, but there's just so many specialist tracks in the UK. Like where you need a certain type of dog. Like over here, like Limerick and Shelburne are basically identical. And like literally they're top tracks. Now you need a different type of dog for likes of Cork and Waterford and all them, or the early pace railers. Like, but as you said, like it's just you need like the Romford dog or like the Harlow dog or Crayford and all this. Like, and you can't really get a dog who's just good in every kind of track. Do you know what I mean? In terms you said like Derby trips, like what are they really? Hove, Nottingham 500. He says the Donny trip, but sure there's never any open racing.
Yeah. That'd be
Monmore, to be fair, has usually good open racing that, but it is a 525. But
it's a proper speed merchant track.
It's a speedster trip. Like
Newcastle would be a good track, like very long straights, bit of a fair running. You've really got to get home at Newcastle.
Yeah, I like Newcastle. I was in it before. It's definitely one of the better tracks anyway.
The first bend's a bit tight though. That's the only thing about it.
Yeah, it's for a long run. Yeah, it's probably a bit like Walthamstow, Craig. That sort of long straights and tricky enough bends.
You've got to get home at Nuke as well because the running's so long. Like that's what I like about it. That's the one.
So do I. Yeah.
Even though it's only 525 or 480, as you call it, like it's not a.
It's a stiff 480.
It is. Whereas Mon was a speed 480, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
From the boxes to the third bend, Newcastle, third bend sectionals, what do they do?
Don't really time them, to be honest.
What is it like? What would it be? 15 seconds?
Probably a little bit more, I'd imagine. Maybe like going towards a 1540, 1550 mark, surely. Never really timed any third. I've never been a massive sectional person because like when you're doing grading you've got 400 dogs or 300 dogs to learn.
Yeah.
It's just a lot
boxes, by the way, or the going in. Did you fancy anything?
No, I didn't get this far into the card, to be honest.
I bet 2 and just covered on 3 and 4 to get my money back. So I thought 2 had a fair bit of early. It's an early speed race really, but we'll see. Good luck. Happy retirement to Razzle Dazzle, Monica and Peaky. AAO.
Peaky's a great dog.
They were some greyhounds.
And away and racing, and 1 and 5 get the best breaks and knock Adrena Diva up on the inside, but it's quickly surpassed by the 5 Islands Owen, and 3 Cannons got knocked over at the first turn, and 5's escaped here. Islands Owen goes on. Byron about 3 lengths from 4. Cool Boy Rusty, who's trying to close around the last 2 turns. They're well clear then of Clona Duke as they come off the last turn. 5 Islands Own still with a 2-length lead from the 4 who can't bridge the gap. 1 ran on late to force a photo with 3 for third. Not Adrena Diva. Clona Duke for the minor medals, but no doubt about the winner. Islands Own got to the front and stayed there. 3 Cannons got knocked over at the first turn, fortunately. Messy race. Islands Own actually was knocked out behind your dog, Craig, Anna Bailey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was another one.
Derby, yeah.
That's See, that's the thing that I found frustrating. Trying to buy a good dog is it's very difficult. Like,
yeah, but like it's just I don't know. It's like when you buy a dog when you're buying a dog for Ireland, like you're buying a dog that suits Shelburne Park. Like you're not looking for you don't buy a dog to suit Cork, whatever, because there's only whatever 1 or 2 comps there a year. Like it's all about having a Shelburne Park dog run there on a Saturday night. While in the UK, as I'm saying, there's so many different specialist tracks, which is not bad in the sense where like you won't have to pay like the price of top class dogs is astronomical. Like, well, maybe buying for specialist tracks like Romford wouldn't cost you as much. Like, it's hard to know. But you says you have to kind of really know the type of dog you want to suit the track. Like,
Yeah, you want. I think over here you want like an early pace 480 dog.
Yeah, well,
you want your Port types and your Waterford types.
The generic and over here is when if a dog doesn't stay, you go, he's a dog for England.
Aye.
Because the tracks suit or shorter trips.
Velasco and stuff like that would be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but even instead of the new tracks, whatever, Suffolk Downs and Oxford, like, and Romford, like, it's the dog, the 24, 25-second dog is what you want, like, the early pacer. You can probably have a good circuit among them couple of tracks, even adding Crayford if you're brave enough to run around it. Yeah, but like, yeah, just early pace dogs. You don't really, you said you don't want the 600-yard dog.
You don't.
Like, I like the Romford 575, but if you can't trap, you're a non-entity in it. Like, you need that dog who can wing the boxes and then kicks on again.
Yeah, see, I can't stand 575s at Romford. Can't stand. I'd much rather have 400, know the leader, lead and win. Whereas 575s, and always even in the graded, the 400 form versus the 575 form was a pile of shite.
Yeah.
It was just incredible.
You just get so many dogs without a trip, don't you, at Romford?
Exactly, yeah.
Stuck in the 500.
100%, exactly right. Yeah,
I bought a dog off there called Strawberry Hall, and he got tried over 575, and he barely stayed 470 Bellevue, but he didn't start, so he was no good over the.
Yeah.
You know, he was just a useless dog at Romford, even though he was running top grade. Brought him to Bellevue, and he was just he was like a 28-10 dog Bellevue, which was all right, you know.
Yeah.
But just, he just didn't have a trip at Romford. He was like, just one end and just be so many.
Yeah.
You can be. You said if you're stuck between trips and that you're you have nothing, like, because you said if you don't stay 575 or whatever, and then you can't start at 400,
you're knackered, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Or even if you can start, but you just don't have the level of early pace of the top end dogs.
But it's even funny as well, because even like genuine sprinters don't run the 400 well, like.
No. Carter Barr's one of the exceptions, like.
Yeah.
He's been a proper dog, like.
But like, yeah. No, it's hard. It's usually dogs that don't really stay 480 and they're not really sprinters, like that they're stuck between that or the Romford dogs, if you get me, like.
Yeah, good early pace, 4-bend.
Yeah, they could win over uses whatever 525, but they're paddling home in it, like. But then if you put them in a sprint, they're never gonna. They're not sprinters, like, simple as that, like. But yeah, it's a unique track. You need to run to find out if you can run it. Do you know what I mean?
It's no good for. I'd always think it's no good for big dogs either. You want something like a 31, 32 kilo dog that's balanced and that.
Yeah,
you got to take a bend and everything about it as well. Like you say, it's a tough track, and Crayford's completely different to Romford as well because it's a lot tighter. At least Romford there is a bit of a straight there, whereas Crayford you've got nothing.
Oh, don't even get me started on Crayford.
I hate the place.
I just like if that was what Greyhound racing was, if that was the premier track, I just wouldn't even look at it. Like, I just don't. I just can't get it. How do lads enjoy fucking Crayford? Like,
it's whippet racing, isn't it?
It's whippet racing. It's just fucking. It's not designed to fit. There's schooling tracks over here that are way better than it, like, honestly.
Yeah.
My local schooling track is over 25 seconds, like 25, 26 seconds, and like it's a way better fucking track than Crayford, like. But even that, it's not fit to fit. It's literally like it's like running around a schooling track where like the schooling track's not designed to have 6 dogs. It's designed to have maybe 1-2 dog trials. That's what Crayford is. But they run 6 dog races in the fucking hell. Like.
The only time me and PMs agreed on anything is that Crayford is absolute garbage. Like, oh Jesus!
But yeah, no. Oh no, should be good next week now with the.
Yeah, it just makes it a bit more of a weekend. Good crack. Pissed up. Only thing that can spoil it is something other than Pro Am and Warrior not winning the derby. If Paul Murray wins the derby, that's it. I'm going Vegas on Sunday. Right, I'll be MIA for a week.
It's that good, is it?
Oh, yeah. I'll be MIA for a week. No danger.
I think all I'll do is get Mrs. P.O. a Twix or something like that.
The last of the romantics.
Surely Gary Vo is more of a winner for you.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That would be bad. Yeah,
he got trap 1 in the final, like the United.
He has, yeah, he has.
When's the card going to be out?
So again,
will the card be out Tuesday? Will it?
Yeah, Tuesday. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
They only put it out quite early, don't they?
Yeah, because they put out the Puppy Derby and that on the same day. So they always put the two on the same day, so should be good.
Okay, that's 2 days grafting it, going through the cards.
That's it.
Anyone going to go with the anti-post, you think, on the Puppy Derby?
They have to, yeah. Boyle's definitely pricey.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Great name, that win.
Was that a Monmore?
Yeah, I'm going to say he was in a really bad graded race.
Is he still running?
Yeah, he's won an A1, an S1 tonight in 38.41. He's won 3/4 of a length in an S1. Jesus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he got into the Summer Stayers final, wasn't it? Over that, yeah. The controversial there.
Yeah,
that was disgraceful though. That was disgraceful. Even just have the rerun and no complaints, like, you know, even that, like, you know.
Yeah, that should have been. But again, it's another example of Greyhound racing, and it just doing things
the wrong way. Yeah.
No, I've never heard anything like that before. Like,
no.
Like, I get the two lads who dead heat for third, or dead heat for third in the competition, and you have a toss or something just because you say, you know, whatever. But
both want to survive it. Yeah.
Yeah, but even at that, like, have the rerun. There's just no excuses that way, then. You know.
100%. Yeah. I'm gonna have to shoot because my food is ready.
Aye.
And yes, and I finished work as well, so I'm gonna go and feed my fucking fat face.
Okay, mate.
Nice one. Cheers, lads.
Thanks, Craig. I'll speak to you. Oh, see you next weekend as well.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Yeah. Beers are on you anyway.
Be lucky, mate.
See you Friday, Craig. Look. I thought something tragic was after happening. He just says no. He's to feed his fat face, apparently.
That's it.
That's what. Are you staying in Dublin, PL, or
no? We're staying at Buckley's. Yeah.
Oh, you are staying at Pat's, are you? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I was never in the place. Now I heard though, it's when you see it, it's like the Aidan O'Brien of Greyhound racing.
I'm sure it is. He keeps saying when you're coming over, because when he came over for the English Derby, he stays with June
Harvey,
in near Southampton, which is a fair way for us. It's a fair old trot. But we went there twice actually. He just kept saying, "When are you coming down? When are you coming down?" So we just went down, and we went. They're right next to a golf club, so we went there and then walked the dogs and had something to do. And I had the privilege of walking the big white flash. You know, the Banana Bull Red dog. He was a really strong dog as well. Really, really strong dog. So yeah, that was a bit of a thrill. Really, it was a thrill. He's some man with a dog, and he showed us how he feeds. And you know, like, because I never professed how to train a dog. I just used to do what I was told with Lorraine. Like she trained some really good dogs, and obviously Spirit and Louis, and so yeah, you kind of a bit in awe of that. And I think Pat kind of respects the fact that obviously he knows Lorraine knows what she's doing, and he's just passing on that little bits and pieces that he does this and he does that. It's just as a dog person, it's interesting, isn't it? You know what I mean? So
definitely. So you were never in his place in Ireland, though.
No, so he kept saying, "You got to come over. When you coming over? When you coming over?" So we said, "Right, we'll have a trip."
What I've been told from lads who've gone, it's like the Coolmore of dog racing. You just like literally, lads say when you look at it, you just go, they're just on a different level in terms of what they have, like, and facilities and all that crack. Like, so yeah, no, that'd be great to see you, like, and uses the caliber of dog that's in his kennel, like, so to see all the superstars, like, you know. Pat's 10th best dog could be a dog that someone that the ordinary man would dream about having, and Pat might not even know he's in the place.
Yeah, it was funny because obviously James Corden, Nathan's son, he goes out with Emma, and he said he couldn't believe, the constant sort of search for dogs that Pat's got. He's always got his finger on the pulse, and people are sourcing dogs for him, and he's looking at stuff. And when I suppose the beauty of it is the fact that the next day you can watch the replays on the IGB website, Connor. It helps, doesn't it? Sort of spot.
Definitely.
So
because you can't be like back in obviously in the day, you can't be everywhere, like.
No.
But like the whole thing was like there used to be lads who were agents, like they'd be every race meeting, every day, every night, just literally scouting dogs for lads. But now he says any owner himself can go on and watch a video and try and pick something now.
Yeah.
You like Troopy's iconic in this one, didn't you?
Yeah. I've just trying to get this up now. Yeah, but I've had a little few quid in them, yeah. Gone a bit short now, but I think he's got a good makeup here, because I think I've looked at Romeo Hanzo, and I think he looks more of a sort of staying sort of dog, from I know he won well at Clonmel, but
hold on, if you said if he's in the right box at the top, and if he comes out, and he's 28-20 in Cork in his card.
He's tight rouse, he's a good breaker, and he's got early, so yeah, he looks. Yeah. I actually think Ballymac Art was the danger, so.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, I agree with you. Hold on, he says 28-20 in Cork in your second race. You're an 18, then backs up an 1860 trial. He's
you're not too far behind Park Blake form, are you? With that sort of form, yeah.
No.
Yeah, so again, Pat Carley. That was my worry with the Crossfield bitch in the second race, was she fit? And now you think, well, all right, he's had a couple of months off, but cut the trials, and you fancy that you will be fit enough. So 6-4 against into slight odds on now. Here we go then. Odds on the exchanges. Droop is iconic, trap 1. Bacon trap in 3. Hair approaches. And they're away and racing and red. Droop is iconic, missed the kick completely, and it's Romeo Hanzo that will lead into the turn. Astaire has a 1.5 length lead over Petersburg, who's in second spot, along with 6 on the outside. A Lucky Gift into the third turn, and it's 2. Romeo Hanzo with a 2.5 length lead over Lucky Gift, who's moved into second spot and now gets out after the leader. They're clear then of 4 Petersburg, turning for the judge. 2 grinding it out. 2 will just about win there. Romeo Hanzo wins it from a Lucky Gift. And unfortunately, I think one might have gone wrong at the back of the pack.
He's gone wrong, I think.
Yeah, missed the kick. Yeah, he's there at the drop, but I think he might have turned.
He absolutely walked out, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that's maybe what might have caused him the problem. Yeah,
he pulled up very quick off the second bend, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But he seemed to be, I don't know, strange now. Watch it. Don't show it again, will he?
No.
No, strange. Couldn't really make much of it. Like,
no, actually,
2 come out through the bars. Like,
could rewind that. Yeah. Just trying to watch that again. Yeah, you can see that behind me, actually. Yeah. Yeah, even the tail was kind of flicking, wasn't it?
But he seems to like.
Oh, yeah, he got distracted.
Yeah,
he got distracted there. Yeah, his head went up like he was looking at the drop.
He was looking over at the
Yeah.
Strange now that. It's funny. Do you know where that actually part of the track is? If you're over at the kennel area, you can stand up and watch the racing just over the sprint boxes.
Yeah.
So that's where people stand. As if he was looking up at the lads or something that were watching the racing. Because when the racing's on from lads on the far side, you'd hang over and look down. Bar he caught, so I don't know. It's very strange. You couldn't make really head or tail of it, like, but.
Yeah, I must admit, I thought that. Yeah, just she's there, track one at the corner, waiting there. When the hair went round, looked distracted. Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, the Friday should be good then. The
Dogs Road show. Yeah, that will be good. Yeah, I think there'll be a crack there. I think Ian said he's actually not commentating that night. He's on the Shan. So that'd be good.
Oh yeah, no, because like it's basically just all the it's basically all the Greyhound Twitter people I've seen, like all the lads like who will go over, like the Irish lads who will go over to England for the final, and the English lads who come over for the.
Yeah, I'll see that they said they go. Is it to Michael's, the fish restaurant?
Yeah,
they're all meeting there at 3:00, and then they're trying to have a bit of food, and then get to Shelbourne for 5. Yeah,
I'm hoping to get to Shelbourne for 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Just hopefully it works out at work, like, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, and to be fair, Ian Fortune is just so good for the game. He's just really, really good for he knows the form inside, and do you know as well, even with what Davey Branch has been putting up, Connor, the stuff where, and you get his father's commentaries, they're just kind of like, they're just into the form, and they just know the form inside out. They're just good for the game, basically, aren't they? That's what you.
Yeah, they really changed. Like Michael, especially, obviously, he changed. Like where I always liked where like it gets away from like the generic uses the commentary, like you see like in whatever the bag shop or generic racing, where you just go like talk about like numbers, or like they might say the name or something the odd time, where like Ian and Michael, they obviously know the dogs. They knew the dogs. They were going like and the puppy derby, like say like whatever something, the puppy derby winner in second, so they know the dogs inside out, like and it's like that's what you need, like, and stuff like, and they know where a dog is. Like you said, Michael Fortune calling like College Causeway getting up.
Yeah.
No one, they know what's going to happen.
Because they know the style of the dogs as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's not like they're preempting what's going to happen, but they just adds to the picture of and portraying what's happening. That's the beauty of it. In that, and we again, I had sort of conversations on Twitter this week about commentaries and stuff like that. In that, I believe that what we should have is like they got in Australia, kind of where you've got a commentator or maybe two commentators attached to one track. So they know the dogs, they know the trainers, they know the kind of backstories, they sell, and they can build up the picture of what's going to happen before it happens. And again, this is something that I was taught when I first started broadcasting in 2000, when there was a new company called Go Barking Mad, and it was like they wanted it to be a global racing channel, and it started off. And basically, all I'd done was cover. I was a race manager at Crayford for 10 years, and a lad used to keep being late, and I used to do the commentary in the first race.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? As a race manager, I just did it for the crack.
Yeah.
And few people said, "Oh, you're not too bad at doing that." So I thought, and then that's when I kind of changed the direction, left Crayford and went to work for this new company, and it's quite leap of faith, really. But I think I was with the right people. Ozzy Osman was a lad that was he did stuff at Walthamstow and stuff like live broadcast from there, and you know when you kind of pick up things, and a bit like I suppose Ian from his father and stuff like that, and what happened was eventually Clive Lawrence took over the production part of the production team, and he used to say to me, "It's just about setting up an ambience for people to have a bet. So if you know a bit about the form, it doesn't matter if you pick a winner. It's if you sound credible, that you know what you're talking about. So you grab the attention of the audience. A bit like probably what we do here, in that like we use people like you and who know the form inside out, have got a bit of a backstory, and people are sort of sucked in. And I think that's important. I just find sometimes that what's happening is where you get maybe a Hills commentator, a Ladbrokes commentator, a Betfred commentator, they can't be an expert in all of those tracks. So again, it tends to be a numbers driven thing rather than knowing a bit like what Davey's doing now, putting a back runner coming weaving through. If you know that, it kind of sets the race up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So people are looking, and it's, you know, like, oh, should we have a forecast in this race? Should we have a win? Shall we have a place? And I think that helps selling the betting product, but no one really seems to be able to pick up on that. And it's so frustrating.
And even you said like it builds like the atmosphere of a race, and you said like it sells like there's nothing better than watching a race even and hearing good commentary for it. Like, do you know what I mean, even when it's happening, like And you said like obviously there's like legendary, like, you know, commentaries like that. Like you said, probably College Causeways won and Errol's won for Westmead Hawk that year. Like that was a fantastic commentary, the one. And like I was even laughing, like Miniota Farlow's in front of him, one of the best Irish dogs, like, and still off coming into third bend, he's still calling the writings on the wall. And I'm going like, geez, that's a bold statement, because in the semi-final before that, he had beaten Miniota Farlow in a photo finish. It wasn't like he'd ran by him. But like, yeah, you should stuff like that. And like, you said the problem at a lot of them, like you said, you get these lads in the shops, they don't know nothing about Greyhound racing anyway. Like, even as you says, they don't know the trainers, the backgrounds, breeding, anything like that. So they've nothing to add to it. Like, you know, it's just like it's 4, 2, 1, 5, 6. Like, and you says they don't know if they're going to come from behind, if they're going to stay in front. They go, oh, like two looks the likely winner. Next thing, 2 could fall over coming towards the line.
Or be a short runner, and they wouldn't really know that sort of thing. It's That's what I'm saying.
It's good commentary sells a story, like, and it sells the.
But the point is as well, and this is what a few people are saying. It's the setting up of the race in the first place. So what they probably should do is cut to the course commentator to set the race up as they're literally going behind the boxes. So to set up, as again, I say that word, the ambience, the betting ambience. So setting the scene for people to go, and it wasn't like Clive said, it's not the fact that you're going to tip the winner. It's someone going, what's he talking about? It's a load of bollocks. I fancy this. Yeah. So it's the encouragement for people to have the bet. It's setting up the actual. This is an exciting race coming up, whereas not, as you say, not the number. And although bookmakers probably want, they don't want people to have a clue. The fact of the matter is, also, you to sustain it all, you need to grab people to say, well, I think I've got a chance here. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So the more people you do that to, the better the market you're going to create, and then in my eyes, it's more sustainable, because you can't keep pissing people off and saying and driving people away from it. That's the whole point of it. And I just feel that sometimes when, as I say, it's a bit like what we do is we try and use people that have got a background knowledge and sound credible, so that there's a bit of an audience capture. I find, you know, even sometimes, and I've worked for Racing Post TV, I just find kind of go, really? Did you just say that? I just think,
yeah.
And they had a dog, and they named it Mute Button and thought it was funny, and I just think, I don't get that. I don't understand why you would want to encourage people to press the mute button, because it doesn't encourage people to have a bet, and your channel is to encourage people to have a bet. So that's where I think that the whole sport kind of falls down, and that's where, as I say, the beauty of Ian Fortune and the Damien Lonigans and the and the Kevin Hennessy's in this world, and Sarah as well, for that matter. And I know I'm quoting ball sports here, but it is the truth. Those people do encourage people to say, well, they know what they're talking about. Let's join in.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. And definitely, you said I do believe that like good commentary though, like even captures people more and gets you more hooked. You said even like the casual goer, like you want to, like gets you like wound up for a race, or give you a bit of a rush. Like if you back a winner in the kind of keeps your heart in your mouth stuff, that kind of way. Rather than use just some lad just saying numbers off a screen. Or my pet peeve is the one like where it's a 6-bend race and they call it as a sprint and you don't even know it's a lap, and then they turn the commentary off and then it goes. He comes back on halfway through, but like it's just.
And I mean that's what Lorraine says. Is that sometimes, say for instance, the golden jacket is always on a morning, and it's almost as like SIS don't plan for who is actually going to be responsible for those commentaries on that day. So, and there's a lot of, they use a lot of commentators that don't really know a lot about dogs, and they're adequate for calling the numbers, but that there are also some really, really good commentators that they've got, and you think, well, what for the good competitions, why don't you schedule those commentators to give the best for that competition? I don't know, because the whole of it is that they mustn't forget it's a gambling sport. They're doing it to go out into the betting shops, to go out onto the laptops, to get people to have the bet. And as I say, I think the Australians do it so well. They do it so well. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
They're fantastic. Like it's crazy how far ahead they are. Even like the whole Australian model of like the stuff like there's no training fees. It's 50-50. You buy a dog, 50-50, which obviously with the better prize money, it encourages a trainer to try and perform a dog at his best because he's running for him as well. What you said, as I was saying, with the problem with the UK model is that actually with the bags, you're rewarding failure. Like you're actually just by turning up, you're doing your job. Like, and doesn't give any trainers any incentive to try and go out of their way to. You said if a dog has a slight issue, whatever, like there's no keeping them off for 4 weeks or 5 weeks trying to sort it. It's just you turn up again because you're going to earn another few quid. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And you said no, but even like the previews the Aussies do, like in that, like I was watching before, like it's just fantastic. Like the lads, to be fair, are constantly
I used to
trying to
listen to podcasts
like.
as well. Especially the Western Australian stuff in Perth and what have you, and their knowledge is just so good, and it kind of keeps you captivated. So you're writing down notes of the stuff that they say, and it's but I don't really see anything particularly happening over here like that. Listen, I've just realised that they're not even showing the last two races, Connor. No, so and I've not really looked at the last two. I don't know about you.
No, I haven't even looked at myself.
So I'm going to thank you for your efforts, and I will see you hopefully next Friday.
Friday, yeah, I will be around anyway at some point. Yeah, but yeah.
Thanks, Connor.
No bother. Cheers,
mate.
Good luck.